NASA television's pre-show coverage at 12 p.m. and the entire total solar eclipse coverage through the eyes of NASA at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on NASA television.
What we're talking about is several visualizations. The laser altimetry data from that, which gives us a digital map of the elevations on the moon. For the Earth, I used something called SRTM. This was a radar that was flown on the space shuttle. For the positions of the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun, I used a JPL ephemeris. An ephemeris is just a list of positions, but it's the most accurate tabulation of those positions. This visualization is unique because it shows the effect of both the irregular edge of the moon, the limb of the moon we call it, and the elevation of the observer. Now, we've known for a long time that the elevation of the observer affects where the shadow is, and we've also known that the mountains and the valleys along the edge of the moon affect the shadow. So you may have seen on eclipse maps in the past that the image of the umbra, that shape of the shadow on the Earth, is drawn as a smooth oval. But we know that the moon isn't smooth. Around the edge of the moon, we have these sort of jagged peaks and valleys. And a peak can block the sun a little bit earlier than you thought, and a valley can let the sun in a few seconds.
This is an exciting event, even for you professionals in the astronomy business.
That's absolutely correct, John. There's nothing more exciting than being able to stand in the shadow of the moon, even if it's for just 2 minutes and 39 seconds, as it is here in St. Joseph, Missouri. And we're looking forward to a great event here today.
And scientists, I was surprised to learn, scientists are treating this as a laboratory event too. I mean, you are expecting and hoping to learn a lot about the sun that you can't do under normal conditions.
Well, we can say that it's much more difficult to study some aspects about the sun outside of a solar eclipse. I mean, the major thing that we can look for is the behavior and appearance of the corona, that thin, pearlescent atmosphere that extends an enormous distance out away from the sun. And we were trying to better understand why the temperature of the corona is millions of degrees, while the rest of the surface of the sun is only about 11,000 degrees. So we can certainly study that while the eclipse is taking place.
And again, that kind of thing you can't do on a normal basis without the moon in the way?
It's a challenge. Well, actually, no, you can't do that, John, unless you have the moon blocking the intense light of the sun. That's the only time that the corona really becomes directly available for study. Scientists do have a device called the coronagraph that fits on a telescope that does block the light of the sun, but coronagraphs aren't everywhere, and with a total solar eclipse, other scientists that aren't at a professional observatory have an opportunity to map out how the corona appears. So it's a great opportunity for a lot of people to do a lot of science study of the sun at one time.
We're looking at some live pictures right now. These are actually coming to us from Madras, Oregon.
Ooh.
That's where the eclipse is going to start. It's west to east march across the country, so we still have a couple of hours to go. Once again, you can't look at it with regular old sunglasses, right?
No, you can't use regular sunglasses for this at all. You must have the special solar eclipse viewers. They reduce the sun's light by 99.98%. So there's hardly any light visible through these at all, but it's perfect for the sun. And these will protect your vision, and it's very important to remember that. Now, if people are still having trouble getting these glasses, John, you can use indirect methods to observe the event. One of my favorite is to use something from your kitchen at home. Your colander or your spaghetti strainer can be used. And what you do with this is you hold it with your back to the sun, and you look at the shadow of the strainer on the ground underneath. You look in that direction, not toward the sun. And every one of those holes becomes a pinhole projector showing the crescent shape of the sun as it's being covered by the moon.
That's what I'm going to have to do because I didn't get the glasses either. Derek Pitts. Derek, thanks very much.
Thank you very much, John.
You know, I have a pair. I'll share them with you. We could go outside. I'll do it, and then I'll give you some. Yes, I do have one pair. One pair. Well, I had more, but I gave them to my kids, so it'll be perfect. All right. President Trump's approval numbers going the wrong way in 3 states that helped him win the White House. Our panel on what this means.
These can create magnetic storms that can cause aurora, but can also affect satellite electronics and power grids on the ground. Scientists discovered these eruptions in the 1970s during the beginning of the modern satellite era, a time when satellites in space were able to capture thousands of images of solar activity that had never been seen before. But in hindsight, these might not have been the first time scientists had noticed these solar features. Soon after they discovered CMEs, scientists came across reports of a total solar eclipse in 1860 that looked very similar to their satellite images. On July 18, 1860, the shadow of the moon travelled over North America, Spain, and North Africa before departing Earth. Much of the path of totality travelled over populated land, resulting in a wealth of observations. Back then, astronomical photography was still new, so many scientists recorded their observations by hand. The drawings show the large white fingers of the corona, and also a distinctive arc-like feature. With multiple images drawn from different locations across Europe, it appears to evolve over time, but not all the images showed this. About 2/3 of people saw the tulip head-like shape, but 1/3 didn't see anything at all, including renowned scientist Angelo Secchi. It wasn't until over 100 years later, with regular satellite imagery, that scientists reopened the debate about what was seen in the 1860 eclipse. The strong resemblance shows that this eclipse may be the first record of a CME. While satellites in the space age exploded the field of CME research, total solar eclipses seen from the ground still provide unique views of the sun's atmosphere that help our understanding of what causes these explosions. Current instruments in space studying the corona need to block the sun's bright body with an occulting disk. The disk covers up the sun and a portion of the lower corona, an important region that scientists believe is responsible for accelerating CMEs and forming solar wind. So when eclipses happen to fall on land, scientists take advantage of these rare events. With each new total eclipse, there's the chance for new information and new research, and the chance to reveal something as astronomical as the first CME.
August 2017, a big month for astronomy. Presented by Science at NASA. Sky watchers in the United States have been waiting for this date for years. On August 21st, 2017, there's going to be a total eclipse of the sun. With the path of totality stretching from Oregon to South Carolina, people can see the eclipse from coast to coast. The timing of the eclipse will provide the opportunity for viewers to see one of the biggest astronomical events of the century, just a few weeks after enjoying one of the biggest meteor showers of the year. Every August, Earth passes through a stream of debris from Comet Swift-Tuttle, source of the annual Perseid meteor shower. This year, the shower will peak on the nights of August 11th, 12th, and 13th. Although the comet is far away, currently located beyond the orbit of Uranus, a trail of debris from the comet stretches all the way around its orbit, back to where it Earth's orbit. As our planet crosses the debris zone, the upper atmosphere will be pelted by specks of comet dust traveling 132,000 miles per hour. At that speed, even a flimsy speck of dust makes a vivid streak of light when it disintegrates. A meteor. Because Swift-Tuttle's meteors streak out of the constellation Perseus, they are called Perseids. Astronomer Bill Cook of NASA's Meteoroid Environment Office offers these observing tips. If it's not cloudy, get away from the bright lights, lay on your back, and look up. Remember to let your eyes get adjusted to the dark. It takes about 30 minutes. You'll see more meteors that way. You don't need to look in any particular direction. Meteors can generally be seen all over the sky. Not all the meteors you'll see belong to the Perseid meteor shower. Some are sporadic background meteors. Others are weaker showers also active in August, including the Alpha Capricornids, the Southern Delta Aquarids, and the Kappa Cygnids. But the vast majority will be Perseids. Cook says if you see a meteor, try to trace it backwards. If you end up in the constellation Perseus, there's a good chance you've seen a Perseid. Under ideally dark skies, observers can often see dozens or even more than 100 Perseids per hour when the shower peaks. This year, the glaring light of a bright, waning gibbous moon will interfere, reducing the number of visible meteors. Now for the good news. That same moon is heading toward the sun, narrowing as it goes until the thinning crescent disappears into a black disk that will perfectly cover the sun on August 21st. A meteor shower, followed by a total solar eclipse. August doesn't get much better than that. For more news about backyard astronomy, stay tuned to science.nasa.gov.
Watch NASA Television's pre-show coverage at 12 p.m. and the entire total solar eclipse coverage through the eyes of NASA at Eastern, only on NASA Television.
As the darkness slowly encroaches, do not fear. The sun will shine again. On August 21st, a total solar eclipse will cross the United States from Oregon to South Carolina. And for a couple of minutes, day will turn into night. Enjoy the show, but don't look at the sun. The only safe time to view an eclipse is if you're in the path of totality and during the minutes of totality. Otherwise, you'll need certified eclipse glasses. To learn more, go to eclipse2017.nasa.gov and NASA TV.
A solar eclipse occurs when the moon moves between the Earth and the sun, blocks the sun's light, and casts a shadow on the Earth. When the moon completely covers the bright disk of the sun, that's a total solar eclipse, and it happens roughly every year and a half somewhere on Earth. A partial solar eclipse is more common, happening at least twice a year. A lunar eclipse, on the other hand, is where the moon moves behind the Earth, so it's now the Earth blocking the sun's light on the moon, creating a shadow on it with a red tint. The easy way to remember the difference is to remember what gets darker. With the solar eclipse, the sun gets darker, and during a lunar eclipse, the moon does. A solar eclipse is a rare event that not many get to see, because the moon's shadow is relatively small. This limits the locations on Earth that get to see it. You have to be on the sunny side of the planet, and you have to be in the path of the moon's shadow. So, If you find your area in the path of totality one year, you've hit the jackpot, because on average, that same spot on Earth will only get to see a solar eclipse every 375 years. During a solar eclipse, the moon casts a shadow with two parts, the umbra and penumbra. The moon's umbra is part of the moon's shadow where the entire sun is blocked by the moon. In space, it's a cone extending some 400,000 kilometers behind the moon. It's when the small end of this cone hits the Earth that we experience a total solar eclipse. Most eclipse maps depicting the path will show you a circle representing the shadow of the moon, but in actuality, the true shape of the umbra is more like an irregular polygon with slightly curved edges. This is because the moon isn't a perfect circle. It has mountains and valleys on its surface, which all affect the passing sunlight and subsequent shape of its shadow. And scientists now have a greater understanding of the shape of the moon's surface, thanks to NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. The unprecedented level of detail from the topographic maps, photos, and other datasets has allowed us to more precisely pinpoint the regions on Earth falling within the path of totality of a solar eclipse. So, if you get the chance to witness a solar eclipse, always remember that our little moon plays a role that's quite large.
Petro from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center. The eclipse has just passed over us here at Volcano Stadium. You all in Charleston have a great show coming your way. Now, because we've got NASA at both stadiums today, we wanted to connect the two events, creating a transcontinental eclipse doubleheader. Now, I know Paul Hertz is there today. Paul's the Division Director of Astrophysics at NASA headquarters. Now, Paul, we've got a ball here to send your way. Now, Paul, I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. I hope you can catch it. And they will stitch them together to create a movie. The first pass of the movie will be posted on their website about 2 p.m. Pacific, and then all the images will be used by scientists to study the sun's corona.
All right, have a good time, Matt. Matt is one of many people across the country who'll be watching this very closely and doing a lot of scientific work, and the scientists hope to learn a lot about this solar eclipse and about the workings of the sun. So it's going to be a fun day out here and across the country as people really gear up for history. It's what we're seeing here. 99 years since the last one. Back to you guys.
So cool. Dan Springer, thanks.
New next hour of Happening Now, the U.S. and South Korean troops starting joint military drills today.
예전 모습처럼 그도 everybody.
Oh, there. She's showing us some
We're taking a little bit of a walkabout.
So what are we looking at, Julie?
So back here, this is the Kresge Oval in front of the Student Center where the EAPS organization, they're setting up where we'll be doing some eclipse viewing starting at 1:30. So they're just getting their stuff set up right there. And if I pan back this way, try not to go too fast, here is the big MIT building that I feel like everybody is used to seeing in postcards and pictures. There it is.
Awesome.
Okay. And, well, Julie, today, as well as bringing us some great images of what's happening at MIT, you are also going to be our social media expert today, and you'll be letting us know how the internet is reacting to today's eclipse. So far, Julie, what can you tell us about how the hype has been building on social media for today's event?
Well, I follow a lot of science communicators and museums and lots of science-excited people, and everybody has just been nonstop about this. Very excited, and even so I'm used to seeing some stuff about this of people reminding folks to get.
Oh, it looks like we've. Oh, there you are.
Apparently.
We're having a bit of technical difficulties, Julie. Could you just repeat the last thing you said? Maybe stand still?
Oh, yeah.
특별엠에서 한시를 알려드립니다.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we'll come back to you, Julie, and we'll make sure that our connection is better.
This might be the time to talk about
eclipse safety.
Eclipse safety,
yeah.
and to talk about the safety message today.
What am I wearing?
And well, there we see modeled for us some eclipse glasses, and so the big message today, of course, is the safety message. Eclipse glasses have to be worn anytime that we're viewing the sun directly. So everybody will need their eclipse glasses today. If you don't have any eclipse glasses, there are a couple of things you can do. The first thing you can do, okay, we're going to go to that. Actually, I was going to say the first thing you can do if you don't have any eclipse glasses is to find someone who has.
Oh, yeah.
And to share the glasses with them.
Yeah.
So one of the things, if you read the instructions on a pair of eclipse glasses, it does say that you shouldn't stare at the sun for a continuous period of time. The best way to use eclipse glasses is to put them on, is to have a look being eclipsed, and then to just take a break and share the glasses with someone else. So the
tradition of Japanese taiko drumming with a sense of Asian American identity, creativity, and empowerment. Since its founded in 1994, the group has headlined arts festivals, concert halls, and has performed at hundreds of community events and school assemblies. Portland Taiko performs throughout the Pacific Northwest. They offer classes and workshops at the Oregon Buddhist Temple, and they conduct team-building workshops for businesses and community groups. Once the shadow begins, OMSI's space science educator, director, Jim Todd, is going to be back here to talk a little bit about what we're seeing. But right now, put your hands together for Portland Taiko!
And I think this is from your kitchen.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and this is your kitchen comedy. What we're talking about here was projection. Now, I think a lot of people know that pinhole projection.
Could you please move, sir?
Is a very safe way of observing an eclipse. This is simply where you take two pieces of card, hold it.
You guys, this is Gillian in Oregon. Can you guys hear me?
exactly right. Now, some people think that projecting the image is not quite as cool as watching the eclipse of the sun through the eclipse glasses. So we can make this more exciting. Colonnades are great for projecting she's great.
Yeah, and also just looking at the trees. I can't see the sun.
That's right, the leaves on trees can act as projectors. And yeah, you can see some fantastic patterns of the present sun. But the main message today is never to forget about safety. It's really not wrong. The retina has no chemoreceptors, so any damage that is done, people may not know about it until it's too late to have. So do be careful. Don't look at the sun. Supervise children very carefully. And yeah, have fun enjoying today's eclipse in a very safe way.
너를 다시 만났었지. 신문을 사려 돌아섰을 때 너의 모습을 보았지. 발 디딜 틈 없는 그곳에서 너의 이름을 부를 때 넌 놀란 모습으로 너에게 다가가려 할 때에 난 누군가의 발을 밟았기에 커다란 웃음으로 미안하다 말해야 했었지. 살아가는 얘기 변한 이야기 지루했던 날씨 이야기 밀려오는 추억으로 우린 쉽게 지쳐갔지.
70-mile wide path, it'll completely block the sun for that couple of minutes, and day will briefly become night. I was driving in from Long Island last night into the city, and there's signs up above the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway that said, tomorrow, make sure to have your lights on during the time that it comes through New York City. They want everybody to have their lights on. You know New York is going to flip out. But 76% here in New York City. So everybody in the whole country, everybody watching us in the United States today will get a little bit of this, at least some of it. Temperatures will drop for a short time. You'll be able to see the stars. This says stars will come out. The stars are actually always out, but we can't always see them. So you'll be able to see them when it's totally dark if you're in that 70-mile strip. And even here in New York and down in Florida and over in California, you'll be able to see it a little bit then too. You can see parts of 14 states are on this whole thing. South Carolina ends it all. Oregon begins it all and is on the way right now. That includes very tiny stretches of Montana, don't you know, and Iowa. If you're not along that path but live anywhere else in the country, you can still see a partial solar eclipse. But no matter where you are, if you plan to look at the eclipse, come on now, you have to wear protective glasses, or you could seriously damage your eyes looking directly at the sun. You're going to hear this a million times today. That does not mean just putting on your regular shades. That's not good enough. Special eclipse glasses block 100,000 times more light than normal sunglasses. If you're watching the eclipse today, tweet us, because we're going to be coming on all through till 4 o'clock this afternoon Eastern Time. You can tweet us your eclipse pictures at Shep News Team. Make sure to include where you are. And if you want to do something a little creative, that'd be good, because we're going to see the moon blocking the sun a lot of times today. It's Eclipse Central here on the Fox News Deck today. All fun, no whammies. So tune in as you can. Dan Springer is at Solar Fest in Madras, Oregon, a small rural town about 90 miles south and east of Portland. And as I mentioned, Oregon is the first state to experience the total solar eclipse today. They're already getting a little bit of it. It's set to happen at 10:19 local time, right? 1:19 Eastern. Is that about right, Dan?
That's right, Shep. And you know what? They just had a countdown. I heard behind me a group of people are looking up through their binoculars and looking at the sun. And we're just seconds ago, we just had the very first beginning of the partial eclipse from the top of the sun, and it will work its way down through the middle of it. And as you said, at 10:19 exactly, we will go total darkness here in Madras. They're calling this Solar Town because so many people have descended on this place. It was long ago identified as the best place in the country to watch the solar eclipse because it has a 35% better chance of having bright, clear skies than anywhere else in the country. And of course, we got them today just on cue. But people are really excited. We have lots of people here who are taking pictures and videos and got their glasses on and already looking at the eclipse as it's begun. So a lot of excitement here, and amateur scientists everywhere across the country who will be uploading video and pictures to NASA. And we've got scientists who will be flying in planes, gathering data about the operations of the sun and that corona. You'll hear a lot about the corona today. That's the only thing that'll be visible during the total eclipse, and that's the outermost atmosphere of the sun, and it's actually a lot hotter than the sun, so scientists can still learn a lot about the workings of this universe during a solar eclipse, and they will learn a lot about it today as we have people all over this country who will be participating in this event. Shep?
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it. Let's turn to Michio Kaku now, a professor of theoretical physics at City College of New York and at the City University of New York Graduate Center. Right now, he's in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which is right in the path of the total solar eclipse. This is going to be quite a day, isn't it?
That's right. It's eclipse mania here down in Missouri. Every single hotel room is booked. Everybody has their sunglasses, and everyone is saying that this is something they're going to tell their grandkids about. The great American eclipse of the century.
And what happened? Is anything weird going to happen? Come on, Michio. Everybody seems to want something very strange and weird to happen. The conspiracy theorists are off the rails.
Yes. However, we do expect to hear the birds stop chirping during the eclipse. Roosters will start to crow after the eclipse is over, and the local TV station here actually did an experiment. We actually experimented with a rooster, and sure enough, you turn off the lights, turn them back on again, and they start to crow. And of course, scientists are going crazy. This is going to be the most researched eclipse in human history. We're going to learn so much about solar flares that could one day perhaps disturb our satellites, will knock out power stations, black out our astronauts. We're going to learn so much about the sun with this eclipse.
Michio Kaku will be joining us throughout the day. He's live, Cape Girardeau, Missouri, where they're all watching, and there's a picture from Dan Springer's location on the right. Hundreds of millions of people expected to go out and watch this today. Hundreds of millions. You don't need glasses to watch here inside your television, which is very exciting. And the reason that it covers the entire sun, but you can still kind of see the sun, that outer band that Michio Kaku was just mentioning, is because the sun is 400 times the circumference of the moon, but the sun is also 400 times farther away from us than the moon is. So it just matches up perfectly, and in about an hour, there in Oregon, that'll be the first stop, Madras, Oregon. That'll be the first spot where we'll be able to see the moon completely covering the sun, where daylight will become dark. You can see it is a gorgeous day there today. No clouds in the sky. Whoops! Clearly they are shooting the sun from a boat. No, I don't know who this person is. At any rate, there it is again. It's changed colors. As you can see, the sun has changed colors because different cameras have different settings. But there's your sun for today. So if you don't have, here's another thing. You can watch this using binoculars, but only binoculars that have perfect filters on them. You have to make sure that your binoculars say they have perfect filters, as this guy here on the big screen on the monster wall I think we'll probably be watching these pictures forever. It's like you're going to see a 3D movie, but you're outdoors. And it's a little goofy. We all look a little goofy in these, but you have to wear them. I know somebody who's supposed to be home right now making a cereal box with aluminum foil, because by the time we got to Amazon, they were all sold out. And many of you may have had that same experience. The cameras have been interesting today, and will be throughout the day, and we'll have coverage every hour, all day long, as somebody has taken a bite out of the sun, and by the time it's over, there'll be nothing left but an orange ring. Kind of exciting over here, guys. Harris and the team. We've been waiting for this long enough, don't you think?
We have. It looks delicious. It looks like a cookie in the sky.
Exactly. An orange-flavored one.
All right. Shepard Smith, thank you for that preview. The eclipse has begun. All right. And as the solar eclipse makes its way across the country, Shepard will have coverage all afternoon of the rare and historic event. So before and after you take a peek at the eclipse, safely, but only through those approved glasses for viewing, keep it right here on the Fox News channel. Much more on President Trump's new strategy for Afghanistan. We'll take a closer look at what he needs to say tonight and what the best way forward in Afghanistan would be. Plus, President Trump is planning to go ahead with plans to hold a campaign rally in Phoenix tomorrow. Some say he should put it off in the aftermath of Charlottesville. Others believe it's a good way for him to unite Americans. We debate. And after the show, you can join our live chat by clicking the Overtime tab at foxnews.com/outnumbered or go to facebook.com/outnumbered.
그리워하는지 몰라 더 이상 외로움 난 견딜 수 없고 언제나 어두운 밤이 찾아올 때면 살며시 그대 이름 부르곤 했어 눈 감으면 그대 곁에 있는 것 같아 하지만 그대 숨결 느낄 수 없고 무겁게 나를 누르는 이 빈 공간에 내담는 방황으로 나를 이끄네 기나긴 기다림 속에 지쳐도 그대 외롭다고 눈물 지치니만 언젠가 그대의 두 손을 잡고서 함께 걸어갈 테야
Dzisiaj w Ameryce przechodzimy przez total eclipse right now, and I think that we are going to win every game, and we are the best country in the world. Macie to w Polsce, kurwa? No chyba nie, kurwa. Co wy kurwa macie w tej Polsce? 3 ekrany macie kurwa w Polsce? 4? Chuje macie, w dupę dajcie. To jest kurwa Ameryka, tu jest wszędzie Ameryka. Kurwa, jest zajebiście. Macie to kurwa? No patrzcie. Tak możecie kurwa zrobić. Macie to kurwa? Macie kurwa? To w Polsce? Kurwa! Kurwa!
나를 어떻게 생각하냐고 너는 내게 묻지만 대답하기는 힘들어 너에게 이런 얘기를 한다면 너는 어떤 표정 지을까 언젠가 너의 집 앞을 비추던 골목길 외등 바라보며 느꼈던 거야 그대를 만나기 위해 많은 이별을 했는지 몰라 그대는 나의 온몸으로 부딪혀 느끼는 나를 어떻게 생각하냐고 너는 내게 묻지만 대답하기는 힘들어 너에게 이런 얘기를 한다면 너는 어떤 표정 지을까 외등 바라보며 길었던 나의 외로움의 끝을 비로소 느꼈던 거야 그대를 만나기 위해 많은 이별을 했는지 멀게만 느낀 우리의 이별 짧았던 그 순간 아쉬움을 남긴 채 떠나야 했던 소중했던 친구야 표정도 없이 그저 담담히 손 흔드는 내 모습 또 다른 만남 위해 잠시 떠나야 할 뿐 젖어드는 내 맘
telescope image from SLU, from Idaho, but there is a big difference between what we're seeing here and actually what people are looking at when they're looking at the sun with their eclipse glasses. And we've got here in this other box on the screen there, this is an animation showing how this really looks, because the telescope, when we get a telescope the moon is eating its way into the sun from the 5 o'clock position on the sun's disk. When people are actually looking up into the sky with their eclipse glasses, they're seeing the moon coming down from about the 1 o'clock position in Idaho.
거짓으로 느껴지고 돌이킬 수도 없는 이별에 자꾸만 슬픔이 떠나가는 그대를 보면서 나는 붙잡지도 못하고 걷잡을 수 없이 아픈 마음에 어둠을 헤매네 시간들이 내겐 너무 힘겨워 견딜 수가 없어 너를 사랑해 나를 하고 싶었어 너를 쉽게 잊지는 못할 거야 내가 너를 느끼듯 내가 나를 느끼는 그때 다시 내게로 돌아와줘 나의 눈을 봐요 그대의 눈빛 속에 내가 들어갈 수 있도록 이제는 솔직하게 얘기를 해봐요 더 이상 숨기지 말고 그대여 두 눈을 감아요 눈을 뜨지 않아도 마음으로 볼 수가 있어 언제나 그대 숨결 느낄 수 있도록 내 곁에 있어요 지금 이대로 지난 오랜 시간 동안 한 번도 말은 안 했지만 그댈 위한 내 마음은 그대로인 걸 처음 만난 순간부터 나의 마지막 그날까지 그댄 말이 나의 마음속에 언제까지나 지난 오랜 시간 동안 한 번도 말은 안 했지만 그댈 위한 내 마음은 그대로인 걸 처음 만난 순간부터 나의 마지막 그날까지 그댄 말이 나의 마음속에 언제까지나 이 세상 살아가는 이 짧은 순간에도 우린 얼마나 서로를 아쉬워하는지 뒤돌아 바라보면 우린 아주 먼 길을 걸어왔네. 조금은 여위어진 그대의 얼굴 모습 잇길 속을 걸어가며 가슴 아팠네. 얼마나 아파야 우리 작은 소원 이루어질까. 그런 슬픈 표정하지 말아요. 난 포기하지 않아요. 그대도 우리들의 만남에 후회는 없겠죠. 어렵고 또 험한 길을 걸어도 나는 그대를 사랑해요. 조금은 여위어진 그대의 얼굴 모습 잇길 속을 걸어가며 가슴 아팠네. 얼마나 아파야 우리 작은 소원 이루어질까. 그런 슬픈 표정하지 말아요. 난 포기하지 않아요. 그대도 우리들의 만남에 후회는 없겠죠. 어렵고 또 험한 길을 걸어도 나는 그대를 사랑해요.
People further left, we can see people with their glasses already on as we're about halfway through the cycle of totality here. So we got about another, I'd say, about a half hour to go before total darkness here. And then when that happens, we will see just a ring of the sun, and that'll be actually not the sun, but the corona. That's the outer atmosphere of the sun, and that's what people will be able to see without these funny-looking glasses on. But everyone is getting their cameras out. I have seen some really expensive equipment brought here from just citizen scientists, people who are just interested in this stuff. It's kind of a cross between Woodstock and a Star Trek festival where people who are kind of, science geeks who are out here looking at what nature does once every 100 years or so. Actually, you know what? Eclipses happen every year and a half, but very rarely do they cut across the entire United States like this one. So anyway, a lot of fun out here in Madras, and they are getting ready for about 30 minutes from now when that sun is completely covered by the moon.
It'll be dark out there, so have a flashlight. Be ready for crazy things to happen. I'm told that dogs will stop barking and birds will stop chirping. Is this a good thing? I don't even know. We should probably have fewer of these. Tarek Malik is with us now. He's managing editor for Space.com, and right now he's at the Eclipse Crossroads of America event in southern Illinois, University of Carbondale, an area where the total eclipse will last longer than in any other place in the whole country. Good for you. How is it out there today?
Well, it is a hot day here, Shepard. I'm in the end zone in Saluki Stadium at Southern Illinois University. They just launched 3 research balloons from the field. And just at the same time that they did that, the partial phase of the solar eclipse has begun. So everyone is really excited. A big cheer came out from the stadium here, and everyone's looking forward to totality.
Tell me what's going to happen there during totality. What's going to happen? Are they going to have events? Will there be entertainment? Will they hand out coronas? What are they going to do?
Well, they have. You can hear everyone's cheering now because the eclipse is officially underway. They have researchers on the field studying it now. They are streaming 6K video of the moon crossing the sun. I can see a shot of it now on their big vision board, and they want everyone to just experience it. They're going to keep all the lights off. They want all the media to keep their lights off. They want people to know just soak in the darkness, and so everyone is just being cautioned to just get ready, keep their eyes safe during the partial phase, but when totality comes, take those glasses off and just marvel at this cosmic phenomenon.
It is quite a phenomenon, and there it is. We're not in sliver realm yet. I wouldn't say that's sliver realm. Can we show Monster? This isn't sliver realm yet, but we're getting close. There we go. That's over here. There was another locator over here. Is this the same location? This is also Madras, Oregon, from NASA. And as you can see, their sun is orange. And our sun is more of a pink color. Anybody? Oh, well, I'm just saying. No, now they're the same pink. The sun's not pink. That's not a true thing. We want to not misrepresent the facts, and the fact is the sun is usually orange. In a little while, it'll cover up the whole thing. That little moon will cover up that whole big sun, and when it does, we'll have live pictures of it here inside your News TV box. It's going to be amazing. For now, though, back to the other guys. Hello.
All right, Shepard, thank you very much. Everybody is excited. Really fascinating as we await this to happen on the East Coast side of the country. And stick with us all afternoon for full coverage as Americans watch this historic event. Shepard Smith will be covering the eclipse as it crosses the entire country for the first time in 99 years. All you need is right here on FNC. You don't even need the glasses. You could just sit here and watch it right on the television. All right, thank you for joining us. More Outnumbered in just a moment.
Andre is an air traffic controller. When it comes to planning the best routes, nobody does it better. He's also a championship-winning football coach. Look at that formation. But when it comes to mortgages, he's less confident. Fortunately,
내 가슴 속에 추억들이 하나둘 깨어나 이 밤도 외로운 날 지켜주네 슬픈 어둠 속에 홀로 앉아있는 사람 그대 사랑하던 기억은 아직 내 곁에 있는데 그 시간들은 두 번 다시 올 수가 없겠지 단 한 번 그날이 돌아온다면
strategy for Afghanistan. Well,
All day music. Channel M.
채널 M에서 2시를 알려드립니다.
MBC 논스톱 뮤직 채널 M. 낭만가요에서는 우리와 희노애락을 함께하는 가요 명곡들을 들려드립니다.
사랑은 은하수다방 문 앞에서 만나 홍차와 냉커피를 마시며 매일 똑같은 노래를 듣다가 온다는 그대는 무르좋지 않은 성냥개 비같죠. 아무리 싫은 표정 지어도 불타는 그 마음을 감출 수가 없다네. 그대 나에게 무슨 말이라도 해줘. 나는 지쳤네. 무지개를 띄워주리. 하루도 이틀도 사흘도 배견할 수가 없네. 못 살고 못 죽고 그대 없는 홍대 성수동.
Then moving his agenda forward as he prepares for a primetime address to the nation on Afghanistan tonight. Hello and welcome to the second hour of Happening Now. I'm John Scott.
And I'm Melissa Francis. President Trump also embarking on a new era in the White House without his chief strategist Steve Bannon. According to new...
나에게 무슨 말이라도 해줘. 나는 지쳤네. 무지개를 띄워주리. 하루도 이틀도 사흘도 발견할 수가 없네. 못 살고 못 죽고 그대 없는 홍대 성수동 천천히 대이채원 걸어다닐 수도 없지. 사랑은 은하수다방 문 앞에서 만나 홍차와 냉커피를 마시며 매일 똑같은 노래를 듣다가 온다네. 사랑은 은하수다방 문 앞에서 만나 홍차와 냉커피를 마시며 매일 똑같은 노래를 듣다가 온다네. 그대 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 대박 대박
An ending over South Carolina, giving millions of Americans an incredible show. Shepard Smith is the lucky dog covering it all from Fox News Center. Shep, I am so jealous. I'm very excited about this eclipse. So is my whole family, so are my kids. Tell me all about it.
Hello to the Francis children.
Yes,
hello,
thank you.
children watching. I hope you're going outside to watch this. You can't really see it around here in New York yet, but you can see. There it is in Depot Bay, Oregon. That's right along the coast into Oregon. That one, well, it's hard to do, weather people. This one over here is Madras Bay, Oregon, or Madras, Oregon, I should say. And as you can see, I've enjoyed this all day. That one is orange and this one is pink. That one is coming to us from NASA. This one is our own camera. The sun is actually the same color at all times when in the sky, depending on atmospheric conditions and, you know. Dan Springer's watching at Solar Fest, Madras, Oregon. It's almost there, Dan. The excitement must be building and building like fireworks.
Oh, Chef, yes, it's building here. It's we're about 12 minutes away from total darkness in Madras, Oregon. This is one of the first spots in America that's going to be in total darkness in that path of totality. But the folks are getting ready. We got some people here with tinfoil hats because they think that they need that for protection. They also say that those who will not be wearing the hats could be slaves to them by the end of the day. So we're not quite sure what they're all about, but they're from Bellingham, Washington. We got people from all over the world who have descended on Madras because they were told years ago that this was the best place to watch this solar eclipse because of the chance of sunny skies, which we got today. But as I look up with my handy-dandy glasses, I can see that we just have a sliver of that sun still showing. So it's fast approaching, and then we're going to get... Actually, I already feel that the temperature has dropped here a little bit, and it has kind of a dusky feel. But we have a lot more in store when this goes completely, the moon goes completely in front of the sun, and we're going to have people cheering and all these people with their knees buckling because it's so exciting. Most people have never seen a solar eclipse, and they may never see another one, so it's very exciting for them. We will have another one go across the entire U.S. in 2045. That's the next full U.S. eclipse. But there's another one that will come up from Texas and go up in the Northeast. That's 2025. But, they all go different places, and this is one that it doesn't include a lot of big cities. Mostly small cities like Madras are the center points of this path of totality. So these small towns like this of 6,000 have turned into big towns all of a sudden. We got 100,000 people who have come in from all over the place, including 500 private pilots who flew their planes in to Madras, and we see people clapping, and I heard a mix of music back there. So again, it's a festive atmosphere, and I think the tinfoil hats are just a little bit of a joke, but I don't know. Well, a joke, and you don't really think that you're going to be making me a slave, do you?
What you don't know is that this dissipates all the energy that's coming out from the sun, and it will protect us. I don't know what it's going to do to you, so good luck, sir.
Okay, you see what I'm dealing with out here, Chef? This is Solar Fest 2017. Back to you.
Yeah, you need to get one of those aluminum foil things. Get one. You need to have one in the next live show. You know what? There's all this excitement. I get it. Great excitement. Dan, here's what I don't get. You know what? This is my iPhone. This is my iPhone. This is my electronic by Bluetooth mouse from a computer down in there. If I put this here and my phone here, I have a total eclipse of the phone. I do, from my perspective. I cannot see my phone, for I only see my mouse pad, my mouse. Okay. It's a total eclipse of the phone. Okay. I mean,
I'm having a total eclipse of the brain here. Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's amazing. Oh my God, the moon has gotten in front of this. Okay, well, I don't know. It's interesting looking. The sun looks a little like the moon up there in my wall. That's interesting. I'm certainly enjoying it. It's better than having to read up on something all day long. And look at this with John Glenn over here. He's the executive producer. He's charting the path. What's going on here?
Well, this is a look at NASA's website. One of the NASA sites. They have 55 teams across the country launching high balloons up into the atmosphere.
What will they do with those?
ostensibly get pictures of the eclipse, live imagery, and maybe track some of the characteristics of the sunlight.
Do you think they know about my mouse and my phone?
I think they're aware. I mean, they are NASA. They're very bright.
They are very bright. Yeah. So this is gonna take about an hour and 20 minutes.
About an hour and a half. Yep. Go across country at some ridiculous speed.
Yeah, it's very sad. Sometimes it's about 2,200 miles an hour. Sometimes it's about 1,400 miles an hour.
That's right.
Does the sun change its speed?
I believe it's because the Earth has changed shape.
See, you wondered about that. I think everyone was wondering about it. Thank you, John Glenn.
Sure.
Not that one. That one went to the moon. That other John Glenn, God rest his soul. That's the executive producer, John Glenn. Godspeed. He's never heard that before. In the whole path of totality, a phrase I don't like to use because path of totality. But in the whole path of totality, it's only 70 miles wide, goes across country. In that whole path, 12 million people live, according to people who know things. I read it, I didn't know it. 12 million people live there, but millions and millions and millions are visiting the path of totality in one place or another along that path there on the right-hand side of your screen. Among them, Tim Slater, who's on the phone with us. He's in Casper, Wyoming, where the total eclipse is set to hit at 11:43 a.m. local time, so 1:43 p.m. here on the East Coast. He's a professor of science education at the University of Wyoming and teaches professors how to teach students about eclipses. He's also the editor of the Journal of Astronomy and Earth Sciences Education. And you have seen 4 eclipses, sir. How does this eclipse stack up to the others?
Well, I got to tell you, we are having a great time here. This is my 5th eclipse that I've seen, which has now started here in Casper, Wyoming. We're right pretty much in the center of Wyoming, and we're standing on a bluff overlooking the city. I'm surrounded by about 50 amateur astronomers here, and the mood is just electric here in the atmosphere. I've also got several groups of scientists running here. We've got the Google and Exploratory Mega Movie team, which is a group of 1,500 folks across the country that are putting all their images together. I'm here with the NASA Citizen Kate group, which is groups of high school students spread across from Oregon to South Carolina. One of the teams is right here in Casper, Wyoming. And I got to tell you, we don't have any tinfoil hats here, but we do have, and I kid you not, that right down here in the valley beneath me, I can see the deer and the antelope play right here in Casper, Wyoming. We're having a great time.
Sing it for us. Come on. If you mention it, you got to sing it. Where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word. You can finish it.
And the skies are not cloudy all day.
Hey, we've just made television history.
We have. You know, we've got pretty clear skies here. We've got some high-level cirrus clouds coming through. The horizon's a bit hazy because we've got these huge wildfires going on in Montana and Oregon. But straight overhead where the sun is eclipsing, things are crystal clear, and we're really ready to go here.
Okay, sounds fantastic. Tim Slater there on site. And there's that's not the Madras, Oregon spot. That can't be. That is not live. That is not right. That's right. That's it right there. That is from NASA television, where we're down to something like a sliver of a thing, and that's it. And I feel like I should put my glasses on. The one thing that as I read up from our brain room, I learned is that when the whole sun is covered, if the whole thing is covered where you are, it had to be the whole thing, not parts of it, whole dang thing, you can look at it because it's covered. Much like my phone analogy from earlier, you can't see it, so you can look up at it. You know what I mean? And look at this. It's coming close. This is from NASA TV, just down to a little sliver of sun. Look at what happens when you touch this one. It doesn't do crazy things. But there it is. And we're getting to that big moment when the sun is gone. And as a result, you know what we're going to do? I'm thinking, are you guys good over there? Yeah. Everybody good? You need to speak when spoken to. Yeah, we're cool. Yeah, they don't usually do that because most of them are millennials. And one thing you will notice about millennials over time is you speak to them if they don't really have anything to say. They just sit there. Does anybody want more water? Okay. No response means no. Usually. That's what I've learned about millennials. But here we go. Guess what's going to happen now? Fox television stations across the nation from sea to shining sea are going to join us for a little eclipse coverage starting now. And good afternoon from Fox News in New York. I'm Shepard Smith on Fox News Channel and now on Fox television stations across the Great 48 and the other 2 as well. It's Eclipse Day 2017. The eclipse, as people on Fox News Channel know, is going to go all the way across that path. But see this little thing? That is all that's left in Madras, Oregon of the sun. And my understanding, you can barely see it. It's a good wall, but that's all we got left. If you're looking at the TV carefully, You should now be using your glasses. Don't look at the TV without your glasses. That's a myth. I think it's gone. It's almost gone. It's almost a total eclipse of the sun. Almost. What is that? This is from a I don't even know. There it is. It's down to a sliver. You know who's out there? Is that Dan Springer is out there in Madras, Oregon. Wow! Would you look at that? It's a total eclipse of the sun. It's going to go all the way across America. All the way across, and now it is in Oregon. Dan Springer, tell me about it.
Well, I tell you what, man, these people are fired up. They're ready. You guys ready? Yeah. All right, yeah. Well, countdown. Give me a countdown. Well, how far are we at? 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 3 minutes. Who's an astronomer here? No, you have a dog there. No, okay. All right. We got tinfoil hats. We got... Right here. Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Guy with the tinfoil on his head. I tell you, Shep, I don't know what I'm doing here, but these people are nuts. They camped here for days. They took days to get here. They came in from all over the world, and you look up at...
They know this is all it's going to be, right? Now. Just a moon over a sun. They knew that in advance, right?
Well... I'd like, some people went to Woodstock because they wanted to hear a little music, and they, it became this huge thing. I mean, this became bigger than just the moon going in front of the sun, right? I mean, I guess. And then, as I said before, this is a little bit of Star Trek adventure too, because I think a lot of Trekkies are here with their little science gadgets, and they want to learn as much as they can about the sun. But you're not going to learn much when you look through these glasses. I mean, I just see a little sliver of sun up there.
Well, that's all there is.
It feels a little cooler.
It's all we see now is the corona. I know. Most disappointing to me was the lack of Heineken on this day. As you can see now, the corona on your screen, our viewers are now noticing, Dan, that the corona is multiple colors all at the same time. No one ever would have known this until we had this eclipse.
Well... Yeah, I mean, you read the same brain room stuff I did. That it's the corona is hotter than the sun. So what does that mean for these folks down here?
Don't get near it.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, no, but they're ready.
If you fly too close to the sun, you get burned.
It's getting kind of. It's getting a little darker though, Shep. Look at it. Can you see?
Did the dog stop barking? Did the bird stop tweeting? We heard all that was going to happen. Did it really happen, or was that not a true thing? Or do you not have dogs and birds
I got a dog over here. Oh. Yeah, we got a dog here, but it's been pretty quiet.
All right. It sounds like the people are making noises. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, the sun's coming back now.
Cameras are coming out.
Oh, my goodness. That didn't last long.
No.
And to think they spent all those thousands of dollars to get there and spend the night and all that. I'm looking at, well, I have a TV monitor here. Our viewers are watching the TV as well. Anything, Dan?
What do you think?
I don't think. I just sit here. Go on.
It's the weirdest lighting I've ever seen.
It's so weird. It's very dark and cold. When it was 30, it was like
dark 30. And cold. Is your dog quieter than normal?
What?
Is your dog quieter than normal?
Probably yes.
I haven't heard that dog make a sound all day.
Well, I want more descriptions from the people. Here it comes. Have people describe it.
Oh, there they go.
Oh my gosh, it's dark. Woo!
I like this. Stay with this, Dan. Keep doing it.
What do you think? What do you think?
It's amazing. I love nature.
Ever seen anything like this?
No, this is my first experience.
Yoo-hoo! I want to hear more.
That is so cool. Amazing.
Tinfoil hat.
I just lost it. I'm gonna probably die now.
This is amazing! That is amazing. Once in a lifetime, right here.
That's crazy.
That's very cool.
I don't know. Wow.
We're surrounded. Oh my God, this is crazy.
Wow.
Can we?
It's not total darkness, though. It's not total darkness. Back with the dog lady. What do you think?
Awesome.
Best thing you've ever seen?
Probably yes.
You will never see this again in your entire life, Kiana.
ever again. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
No need for those glasses right now.
No, because now you can look at the thing. It's covered so you can look at it. Oh my God!
Wow. Awesome.
I see a little red spot on the side.
What do you think?
It's very amazing.
Glad you came?
Yeah, I like it.
Where'd you come from?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia for this?
Oh my
Are
God.
you kidding me?
Adisu is Ethiopian here in studio. They may know each other.
You came from Ethiopia for this?
No, our background is Ethiopian. We live in Seattle.
Oh, okay. They only came from Seattle. They started out in Ethiopia, but then to
I tell you
Seattle.
what, though, Adisu came here from Ethiopia by way of Italy and then North Carolina, so it's all
What's up?
confusing.
Having a blast. It's amazing.
Woohoo! More
Okay,
yelling,
so-
Dan. Cue the yelling.
Yeah, we. All right, we want to hear you yell.
There you go, Dan. Nice. That's a good one. Yell of the day. Yell of the day time now.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back.
The sun is returning. Jalapeno. Whoever would have thought it would go down like this?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Now it's coming back. The lighting is coming.
Ooh.
Wow.
There's the sun.
What do you guys think?
Huh?
Huh?
Where you guys from?
We're from Wilsonville, Oregon.
All right. Hey, how are you guys
A
doing?
long way. They're in Oregon, you know.
Like dusk.
It was like dusk. Okay. So this was
No, he
big-
said like duh, not like dusk.
Not too much, no.
No, he said.
Okay, whatever. I like
Did
mine
you
better.
say
Go
that
on.
it's like dumb or like dusk?
Dusk.
Duh,
Dusk.
hell, you were
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Boom,
It was like
boring.
dusk. How was it? How was it for you?
Oh, it's so amazing.
Too short.
Too short.
What is everybody going to do now, Dan?
Did you get some good?
I hope I did. I was
Yeah. Now
too
what?
worried about
Now what do you do?
I know. Now we got to pack up and
Go home.
go home.
Was it worth it?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you
Once
didn't-
in a lifetime.
You didn't pay $4,000 for a house like I did for this place, you know. These people are getting rich in Madras, Oregon.
Oh my God! You paid $4,000 for a house, Dan?
Well, actually,
Expense
I
it.
didn't, but you
The
know, our
company.
bosses did.
Yeah, thank you, bosses.
Exactly. Wait a minute, you guys are packing up and leaving already? Is it over?
The memories are never over.
Okay, how good was it? How
That's
good was
a
it
good
for you?
So good.
You got your shirts?
I got a shirt.
Okay. Shirts on.
All right. It was awesome. Once in a lifetime thing.
Where'd you come from?
We came from Hillsboro, Oregon.
You didn't come far enough. I can't keep talking to you. I'm sorry. we got to find Ethiopian people.
We already
again.
did that. You
So
did that.
anyway, Shep,
Victory. Declare victory.
Well, I all right. How about the tinfoil people? They're still here. Hey, you can take those things off now because man, it's over.
For now, that's going to happen again in about 35 years, so be ready.
I don't think you enslaved anybody here.
That's what you think.
That's what you want me to think, right? All right. So,
Dan,
how
fabulous.
about you? You got your cameras? You got some like pictures of a lifetime?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right, Shep. Well, there you have it.
Well, that
Madras,
was-
Oregon has seen it, and it's over.
You did an amazing job. People
It's
have been
done.
tweeting. Frankie says you're so condescending to the people enjoying the clips. Ugh, changing the channel. We're not condescending. We're trying to have a good time. Who else said
No.
something? Griffin
I'm
said,
not
please dial it down a notch. You're embarrassing yourself. That from CB Augustine. You know what, CB? I'm good with that. I want to recap what was said in response by all of those at Dan Springer's location. The recap of response. I have all the key words. Dan, how was it? Response. Weird. Dark. Cold. Another dark. Amazing. I love nature. Amazing. I'm going to die now. And we hope that doesn't happen. This is amazing. Crazy. That's cool. I see a little red spot on the sun. And, huh? It was fantastic. Here's the greatest thing of all. It's going to happen again and again. It's going to happen in Idaho, in Wyoming, the Nebraska, a little bit of Kansas, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. And unless it's cloudy, it's going to be right here. For people watching on Fox television stations across the great nation, thanks for being here. We're returning you to your local station. Coverage continues now on Fox News Channel on satellite and cable. I'm Shepard Smith, Fox News, New York. And now back just on the Fox News Channel where we're going to watch this sun do that thing. Watch this. Want to see a total eclipse of this monitor? How about, it's totally eclipsed. We'll have more greatness for you throughout the day. Who's hosting now? Oh, Tim Slater. Should we go to Tim Slater? Okay, Tim Slater's on the phone again in Casper, Wyoming. How was it?
Well, good afternoon, Chef. The eclipse hasn't happened here yet.
Uh-oh.
The shadow went across Madras, Oregon, and we're still about 16 minutes before the shadow gets here in central Wyoming.
But you're only seeing a little sliver, right?
Well, we're only seeing a little sliver of the sun. About 90% of the sun is covered right now. The temperature has dropped about 15 degrees. Just a few minutes ago, it was about 90 degrees here. Now it's closer to 70 degrees. And we're standing here on a bluff overlooking the city of Casper, which is located in the center of Wyoming. And I got to tell you, Chef, the funniest thing's going on. Nobody here is wearing tinfoil hats like they are in Madras, but I am literally watching down here in the valley the deer and the antelope play as we get ready for this eclipse.
You're auditioning to sing it again. You know, we only get one song per customer.
That's right.
How big is the crowd? How big's the crowd there, and what's the anticipation level like?
So, like I said, the atmosphere is just electric. We've got about 1,000 astronomers that have come here to Casper, Wyoming. Casper's a tiny little town. It's the largest city in all of Wyoming, just 50,000 people. But we've now got a population of about 150,000 people, as people have come from all over the world. I'm standing next to a gentleman here from Montreal, Canada. There's a lady across the way here that's come from London. There's quite a wide variety of astronomers that have come here. I can see just a few feet from me, the folks from Google Mega Movie, along with the Exploratorium from San Francisco, have got equipment set up here. NASA has a team of high school students here as part of the Citizen Cape project. They've got 70 high school teams set up across the country, from Oregon all the way to South Carolina. And these folks, these high school kids, are very carefully setting up their instruments, because just in about 14 minutes, we're going to reach totality here. And totality will last about 2.5 minutes here, as that giant shadow of the moon, which is about 70 miles across, comes screaming across the Wyoming here about 1,700 miles per hour. And so we're all excited about watching that shadow come over us before the eclipse happens.
Well, we already know what happened in Oregon when we were in moment of totality, because I have the whole list. I got the whole list of things that everybody said. What do you think will be said there during that period of totality?
Well, you know, this is my fifth eclipse that I've been able to see, and I've watched people do a wide range of things, from screaming to dancing to breaking down into tears.
I want all of that.
Couples are kissing one another just like on New Year's Eve. It's quite a party atmosphere. What I want to know is, what are these silly deer and antelope down here going to do when the sky turns dark?
They're going to beg you to sing to them, and then you're going to wish you not talked about them.
That's probably true. I didn't have their permission to do that.
All right.
So I got to tell you, Chef, too, when you're having a good time.
Well, we're having a good time, too. And there's some people who think we should take this a little more seriously on the Twitter. The Twitter is a dangerous place to go from time to time, which is why I don't really much go there. I did tweet Cynthia Erivo this morning because I saw a fantastic concert from her last night. I tweeted her. But otherwise, they seem to think this should be more serious. I'm sure somewhere it is. Is it serious there, or is it a lot of fun?
I'd say it's half and half. We've got a group of people here that have spent thousands of dollars on equipment, thousands of dollars to get here, and they're really particularly interested in understanding scientifically what's going on in the outer atmosphere of the sun. That outer atmosphere is the thing we call the corona. And there's no laughing, no screwing around with those folks. Right. They are here and they mean business. But I'd say that's a relatively small fraction of people that are here. Most people out here with their families, they've got lawn chairs set up, they've got their pets out here, and they're just here to have this experience of a lifetime.
Deck team, I need a show of hands. Deck team, everybody, here we go. Millennials, turn around. How many of you are on the this is fun side? And how many of you are on the this is serious side? We got no serious here. We got 2,000 employees here. I believe they should send us a few serious people, because for us, this is just a lot of fun. We've been watching The Path to Totality, so you can catch a DC on screen if you run. The Path to Totality, we're not even out of Idaho. With the path, I mean, we got a couple more hours of this. The sunscreen. It's very exciting. And you know what's about to happen? A thing that also happens. See that clock over there? We're about to alert to a new restart. It's 10:30 on the West Coast, 1:30 on the East Coast, and this is Fox News Channel's smashing team coverage of the best music ever for a solar eclipse. Could we play it again? There you go. That is the official eclipse music of Eclipse America. And as you can see in Madras, Oregon, over there, over this side, over there, that sun, that's Madras, Oregon, where they already had their total eclipse of the sun. The total eclipse of the sun has expired, and we're now in a partial eclipse of the sun on the backside. If using a hurricane analogy, this would be like the dry side of the hurricane, I think. But, you know, it's like the big thing has already happened. There's still stuff going on. You know, obviously, you don't look up there and see the sun like that very often. And it's interesting how NASA has been able to place its logo next to the sun, isn't it? Did you see that? See that over there? What is this? This is Madras, Oregon, where people are now milling about, and it's getting lighter outside. I see a McDonald's there on the upper left of the screen. That, you know what that really was Times Square. I was just trying to see if anybody caught it. That was Times Square, because in Madras they don't have large. Go back to that camera, if you would. I don't know where that came from. No, the previous one with the McDonald's. That one. That is not Madras, Oregon. This is NASA TV. And that I recognize the yellow cabs. That's New York City. So NASA TV is switching all over. This is Fox News Channel TV, and we at the sun. And there it is. It's the second side of the sliver. The sun, as you can see, the sliver, it's like that upside down moon. That's what we have now. And we're about to have a total eclipse in some areas in Idaho and Wyoming. John Glenn's over here. He's been watching the NASA TV and all the things that are going on. Do you have something fascinating?
I don't have anything that fascinating. I'm really just keeping an eye on the various feeds coming in. We're hoping to get some shots of elephants cavorting as the eclipse
Do you think it'll happen?
I think it'll happen. I think that, you know, animals are very sensitive to the eclipses.
Like Lucia.
Like Lucia.
Do you have a picture of Lucia?
Not on me.
Not handy?
No.
Kate's up here. Oh, she's working on the rundown. What do you?
I am.
What is this? This is somebody's live shot coming up?
Yes, it is.
John, do you have anything?
Also working on a live shot right now. Sorry.
The top Republican. Oh, see, we have a 3 o'clock
This is
program.
political stuff. Yeah.
Oh, it's political stuff that he's writing for later. These people actually work. This one's last day.
Working
Ash.
on 3 o'clock.
Ash, you ought to be doing nothing. It's your last day. He stayed for the eclipse. But Lillian always has something, don't you, Lillian?
I am prepared for you.
Lights for Lillian, stand up, please, and watch them change. Woo. What you got?
These are some things people tweeted at us. A couple in Huntsville.
Huntsville, Alabama?
They're being extra safe, it looks like, with this plate attached to the glasses. I haven't seen that in other places.
It makes for a nice Instagram likes that.
It does.
And you know, down in Huntsville, they're probably pretty excited because Alabama's ranked #1 again.
I saw that.
Hard to imagine.
This is actually from one of my friends who's at home in Idaho. She says that it's getting colder.
She's a friend of yours.
Yes.
What's her first name?
Alina.
Hello, Alina.
Alina says that her cell phone service is bad, but there are lots of planes in the air, and it feels very eerie. So I'll touch base with her again after totality hits where she is.
Planes in the air like a true player.
Somebody else tweeted this at us.
That's quite a thing.
Yes, actually, these welder hats are not as safe as they might appear. You have to make sure that the filter is very high, like above filter 12.
Better for welding.
Yes, it's much better for welding. So not necessarily safe. Somebody else tweeted us, it looks like they're looking through one of those spaghetti strainers. You can see a little bit of the moon coming in on the sides of the sun.
I'm trying. Oh, that's Idaho Falls. I was trying to see where that sun on the left there is Idaho Falls. Look at it. Look at it. Go on.
Somebody tweeted us this. This is.
Oh, look at that. That's the gum. We have that in the candy store downstairs.
Yes, very funny, but not a good way to watch the eclipse.
No.
We've also got some pets.
Oh my! Look at that one. What's that one's name?
I don't know. They did not give us their name, but
gotta give us names on pets. Come on, we love the pets.
We do, and it's so good in case they look up because you look
Celestron. This is the brand that they were selling. That's the brand that they were selling on Amazon, but they ran out.
This dog is very safe.
Very safe dog. That's good.
I also got permission from this guy, Nathan
Sharp,
showing how the sun looked this morning with the solar filter on the camera, with the solar filter on the camera versus without. It looks a lot smaller, he said. Without. So kind of an interesting side-by-side comparison.
A lot of sun things happening.
Yeah, that's
Do you
all I
wish
got.
you were off today so you could be out somewhere watching this solar eclipse?
I do. I kind of wish I was with Alina in McCall, Idaho, but by the time we realized it was way too expensive, she had a wedding this weekend, so she was already going a long time ago when the flights were way cheaper, and it worked out pretty well.
Ryan, our producer, has the day off, and I saw him last night in West Hampton with his brand new baby, and he said, I'm going to watch it on TV. He got the day off on Eclipse Day.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to get.
And we have to work all the way through the president tonight. That's a long Ryan picked a good day.
He did.
You know where Matt Finn is today? He's in Carbondale, Illinois, south and east of St. Louis. Not only is it in the path of the total solar eclipse, Carbondale area is also where the total solar eclipse will last the longest. You know how long, Matt?
About 2 minutes and 43 seconds, Shepard. That's what we're told here in Carbondale.
Can you tell me something amazing?
Called the I can't necessarily tell you something amazing, but I can tell you this place is being called the Celestial Super Bowl. Not only because you could see the eclipse in its entirety, but you could see it for 2 minutes and 43 seconds, which is the longest location in the United States. 15,000 capacity here at the stadium at Southern Illinois University. As you can see, we're getting there. People have been sitting out in the sweltering sun, a lot of humidity. Most people drove here from the Chicago area, Shepard, but I want to introduce you to a woman who flew here from Florida. But first, let's talk to the family here. You guys came with some pretty nifty looking gadgets. Tell us about these boxes and what do you plan to do with them?
Well, we just made these as an alternative. Like, we came with our glasses, but, you know, just to give ourselves options. We looked on the NASA Eclipse site, and they had instructions for how to make shadow boxes. So just put up a pinhole right here, eye viewer right here.
Why don't you guys show us how you're going to use them when the eclipse happens here?
Can you look in it? Can you see the star?
Look right up.
Look back up.
Well, safe viewing to you guys. Stay cool. If you Shepard, another woman flew here from Florida. She lives closer to the Carolinas, but she chose to come here. Tell us why you flew here from Florida today.
I came from Florida because I thought this was a once in a lifetime, at least my lifetime, opportunity to see a total eclipse of the sun.
And you live closer to the Carolinas, where you can also see the total eclipse, but you decided to come here?
Yeah, I could have gone to Georgia, but I decided to come here because
good job. Great idea.
It's a college campus. I knew I was going to get a lot of background on the whole thing.
How does this compare to the Florida sun?
It's just as hot.
Stay cool. This guy here flew in from Texas. It's also his birthday. Tell us why you guys came here from Texas.
We're going to be here to see the total eclipse. In Texas, we cannot see the total. We're from San Antonio, where the
sun has disappeared. You see this on the left-hand side of the screen? It's gone. Somebody stole the sun.
Do you feel a little cosmic luck on your birthday?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. That's why I think I have to make it here.
Shepard, NASA is also here. Universities like LSU and researchers across the country, they just launched some helium balloons up into the sky a short while ago, and they want to get the first ever video of the total shadow of the moon across the United States. So very festive here and very hot in Carbondale.
What are the best words you've heard to describe it? I heard festive, I heard hot. What are the best words? Give me the best words.
Jane, what's the best word to describe what you're about to witness?
Awesome.
Awesome. There you go, Shepard.
That's
guys,
creative.
what's another
Got anything
word
else?
to describe the eclipse? What's the best word to describe the eclipse you're about to see?
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's two.
Guys, what do you think?
Spectacular.
That's a good one.
Amazing.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. Okay, so awesome, spectacular, tremendous. Not dark yet, Shepard. We heard dark on the West Coast. It's still very sunny here right now.
And our viewers, it did not escape them that the total eclipse of the sun has screwed up your camera coverage. Do you know that it goes like old NASA stuff from the 70s whenever you move around? It's because of the sun.
No, I did not know that, Shepard. We will fix that.
What? No,
That's
it's
right.
the
It could very
sun.
well be.
The sun's doing all kinds of weird stuff. Look what's happening out in Los Angeles. Let me show you this. Our Los Angeles Bureau, they've taken their phones out, and they're looking at their phones. Millennials never look at their phones, so this is like some kind of day. It's a day out there in L.A. Look at this. That's Jonathan Hunt. He's never on television anymore. Look at him. He has his clothes partially off. What's going on here?
Readers, I think.
These are his readers?
I don't know.
He's old, in other words. Jonathan Hunt. Yeah. I have those too, because I'm also old. But look at them. They're all looking at their phones. I ain't never seen the likes of that. You'll remember in the last city, which was out there on the West Coast, we had weird and dark and cold and amazing. Here's one I like. I see a little red spot on the sun. I'm not making fun of people. I'm having a nice time. Stop it. In this new city, Carbondale, Illinois, we have awesome, awesome, spectacular, amazing, and tremendous, which is tremendous. Jack Gable joins us now by phone from Tecumseh, Nebraska, in the path of the total eclipse. We're going to have a total eclipse-a-thon. He's a professor of physics at Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. I love to watch Creighton play basketball. Today, I want to hear you tell me about this thing going on.
Excellent. So, hello, Shep. How are you doing?
Did we lose it? There you go. Speak. Great. Go.
Yeah. So, we are in southeastern Nebraska on a private farm outside of a small town of Tecumseh, Nebraska. And we're out here with 600 middle school students from Omaha. And we are about 25 minutes away from totality. We've had a morning full of science activities and demonstrations.
Like what kind of science activities?
So we've been exploring how gravity works. We looked a little bit at Einstein's view of gravity and Newton's view of gravity. We've done scale models of the solar system, so to show how incredibly vast our solar system is, the incredible distances between the planets and their sizes. We've looked through telescopes. We have some special solar telescopes that have filters on them that make it safe to look at the sun. So we've had some incredible images of the sun throughout the morning here.
It really is a great time. It's a great excuse and a great visual aid for getting the young ones to learn something new.
Absolutely. So, there's so much excitement about this event, and there's so many reasons to be excited about it. And I know you've talked about it a lot, today, the rarity of being involved in this, right? Just to be in that path of totality is incredibly rare. Most humans haven't done that. The incredible beauty of it, the sky going dark, seeing this corona that most humans have never seen, all of those things, just the experience and the rarity of it. But the fact that so many people are getting excited about science, they're asking questions about science, they're trying to understand why eclipses happen, what are the structures in our solar system, why does a total solar eclipse happen only rarely? Why is it such a special event? So just the fact that so many people, youngsters and adults as well, are just absolutely enthusiastic about this like nothing I've ever seen before.
Wow, how exciting. You said you're with about 600. Is the group itself much larger than that? Are there others around?
Yeah, so all told, there's probably about 800. So there's 600 middle school students, and then another 200 chaperones and faculty and students from Creighton who are guiding students around and having the outreach activities.
Well, I want to tell you something. We are seeing something that you will see in just a little while, because we're watching in Casper, Wyoming, where it's 11:43 a.m. and they have all together now. They don't participate because they are millennials. The phrase is total eclipse of the sun. All together now they have total eclipse of the sun. Oh, the excitement in this news deck is beyond and to the exclusion of all things prior. This is the most exciting day. Let's try it again. In Casper, Wyoming, they now have total eclipse of the sun. I got a list of words. They're tweeting me words now. We had been talking to people about how they would describe it, the best word for it. We had all those words. The great ones from there at Matt Finn's location: awesome ×2, spectacular, amazing, and tremendous. From the West Coast, we had weird, cold, quote, I'm gonna die now, unquote, which I didn't like. George Kellis has tweeted phantasmagorical. Phantasmagorical. George Kellis, GS Kellis, at GS Kellis. Thank you for GS. Casper, Wyoming, now 11:44, and it's pretty darn close. These pictures coming to us from KDVR, Fox for Denver. Love some Denver. I bet in Denver, in Colorado, they won't get a full eclipse. They never got a full eclipse today in Colorado. They saw a partial eclipse. They got a lot of eclipse, but there's a lot to do. And I'm guessing in Colorado today, some people legally thought it was a full eclipse, specifically in Colorado. But I don't know. That's just me. Casper, Wyoming is doing the whole thing. NASA TV's up there, and they have a full eclipse-a-thon happening. And they're interviewing people about the eclipse, as we've been doing. I wanted to give you a little fair and balanced coverage by showing you what's happening on the other networks. Here this is where we watch all 4 of the cable networks. We don't count CNBC. We watch the Fox Business Network. They're here. They are interviewing someone with the sun. CNN sun is a slightly different color than everyone else's sun, as you may notice here. This is me talking about me, this is always a weird thing to happen. And then over on MSNBC, it's just sort of dark and vacant, So that's what everyone else is doing. That's what you're missing. Eclipse TV here. There's the path over there. And just to take the sun full in Casper, Wyoming, you can see it's coming out just a little bit. Let's take it full in Casper. See there? This is the backside now, right? Because we had a total eclipse of the sun in Casper, Wyoming. It lasted a little while, a couple minutes, and now the other side starting to come out, and it appears to be orange. Is Matt Finn still out there? Matt, is the excitement building? What's your situation there, Matt?
I would say the excitement is definitely building because just about an hour ago, this stadium was hardly filled, maybe only about quarter capacity. Now you can see it's really filling up. I think that most people probably realized how hot and humid it is today, so they wanted to spend as little as time possible standing outside in the sun. But now this thing is fully geared up and the crowds are really picking up.
We're going to come right back there when it happens. I'm getting tweets from some of you. Some of you aren't sweet. Some of you are very sweet. Patty Knight has tweeted me, and Patty they're using the cereal box method. This is Patty Knight's house, and you can see they've made out of rice. They're advertising for Rice Krispies today. It's what is it? Crackling delicious. But daughter and father, and there they are. They have some. You can see we're physically challenged at the moment, as there's a boot here. But they're looking in the Rice Krispies box. I wondered how. But you know, I thought about this. If I were out doing this today, since I didn't get to Amazon soon enough, would I do the box of cereal thing? I don't think so, unless it was someplace private. Because you look kind of goofy doing that. You didn't, Patty. You and your family look great doing it, and thank you for the tweet. You can tweet us your stuff at Shep News Team, and we're just watching Casper. What did they have in Casper today? All together now?
A total eclipse of the sun.
Oh man, I know you're all doing it along with us at home. What's that? Lillian, do you have something up there? Oh my God, Lillian's got something. Let me get the white microphone. Stop making fun of the white microphone. Not everybody has a white microphone. We feel special because of it.
Okay.
What have you gotten?
I had to add this. Somebody tweeted us. It's a solo eclipse.
Oh, see? I did that with my phone.
Yeah, very good. Some cool shadow things. This is leaves through the eclipse sun. The shadow is kind of cool. It's like this weird shape you normally don't get. Somebody tweeted it to us.
Well, thank you, somebody. Appreciate that.
Great. And somebody else using the spaghetti strainer method.
That looks like the old... well, there you go. That looks like the phone, you know, the part you're talking to on the old phone with the holes in it. Back in the day. You're not old enough to remember that. Millennial.
Some more shadows. Somebody looks like they're using a cheese grater.
That's a cheese grater. I recognize that from Weekends.
Yeah, it's a cool systems. This is also a shadow from somebody's binoculars.
They're making, this is Go Wolfpack. This would be Go Wolfpack right here. But they're making, Go Wolfpack. But they're making their own shadow creatures.
This is, we got a name. This is the Chapo, but it's another dog.
Not El Chapo.
The Chapo is what.
Okay, the Chapo.
Is what the
well protected. I feel like pets need protection as well.
Yeah, then some more families and people watching, sending us them and their solar glasses.
Oh, I love it. Nice job, Mr. Orthodontist.
Yes.
That's a great picture.
They're excited. They're down in Florida. Some more people trying the welders.
Creepy.
Yeah, it does make you look a little scary. People watching outside.
Let's save that for a second. You know, That's fine. That's fine. We had a chiropractor text us, tweet us actually, and said, you know, I'm going to be busy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because people are going to have cricks in their necks and they're going to need all kinds of work. And chiropractors across America are like, come on, y'all.
Dermatologists are probably also a little concerned.
Got to wear some sunscreen if you're out there. Come on.
Some more people, hopefully, it's multitasking. You're sunbathing and watching.
Hi. A lot going on.
Yeah.
Who's this family? Palmetto Stable. Is that South Carolina? I don't know. Look, they even got T-shirts.
They are ready. They said they were ready in South Carolina, so you had it nailed.
I want to be in South Carolina today. I love
some more people watching. Yeah, South Carolina's nice.
Yep, love it.
Yeah, some little kids. Yeah, they're cute. They're having fun.
She's cute as a button.
Yeah.
She got great glasses, too.
She does.
Here we go. This one was out with Dan Springer.
Yeah, they said the pinhole instructions were unclear.
You're like, how do you do it? I just got this one. Let me see who it's from before I put it up there. Because, you know, if you're bothering to do this, you might as well get a little credit. Susan Mason Hollis sends all the kids with the Chuck's zooming in on it, all the kids with the cereal boxes and stuff. It's kind of hard to see off my phone there. But everybody seems to be having a nice time watching the solar. Where do you think it's the worst now?
Where like
the most covered at this moment? Where do you think? Out there in the west somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
What are they having, guys?
A total eclipse of the sun.
Can you feel it? Wow. Zanitas over here especially. He is thrilled. He's writing the politics lead for the 3 o'clock hour. Casper, Wyoming up on the monster wall. And in Casper, the sun has become a very red color now. You know, it's actually just because of our camera weirdness. But there it is. That's the backside of it. They had it for a couple of minutes there in Casper, and I don't know what you do after the initial excitement passes. Over here, this is NASA television. If I place a lens from eclipse viewing glasses over the viewfinder on my iPad, could I successfully video the eclipse? Would it fry the camera? Wow, I would consult the Google on this matter. They probably answer, hey NASA, can the International Space Station see shadows of the moon move across North America from space? I doubt it. I don't really know. If you're interested, as you can see here, the Dow's up 849. 849. The Dow's up 849. So that's where it's going. You can show that over there if you want, John. That's the path. We're going to have a full day of it. And for now, we have reporters all across the country. And Trace Gallagher is out of the... Trace, I bet you're stuck inside today, aren't you?
Yeah, I was stuck inside. I've been kind of tied to the camera here, Shep. But, you know, you said earlier, Jonathan Hunt, he was kind of the ringleader of this whole thing for the Bureau. So they'd go outside and they'd get about 5 or 6 people. And they'd come back in and they'd say, it's not here yet, not here yet. And, of course, we're on the west side of Los Angeles in Southern California. So as the map goes, we're in kind of a bad position, right, to be in the line of the total eclipse anyway. But then we have the marine layer here in Southern California, which makes it even worse. So you go outside and you can see maybe a little bit of blurry, but you can't really see the total eclipse. So everybody's kind of looking at the TV and looking out the window. So that's the reason that if you really wanted to see the eclipse, you were better off kind of just packing up and heading to a place where the brief darkness is complete. Watch this. Hotels at capacity.
Within the last 3 to 4 weeks, all of the hotels here in Carbondale have booked up.
Not enough gas.
We only have so many filling stations in our area that can accommodate the people that are coming in.
And a porta potty shortage.
Everybody's out kind of everywhere.
For the millions of people traveling to witness the once-in-a-lifetime eclipse, public safety officials warn, leave early and be prepared to battle traffic and crowds.
This is the solar eclipse t-shirt.
But it's not all bad. Small business owners are taking advantage of the influx of tourists. Patrick Nauman owns a store in Weiser, Idaho, and is jumping at the chance to sell eclipse-themed merchandise.
This has just been a godsend, really, from Mother Nature as far as the economic boost that every business in town is going to wind up reaping the benefit from. So, you know, small or large, service-oriented or not, you know, everybody's going to see some economic gain from this.
Like those selling eclipse viewing glasses in Arizona.
Unbelievable high demand right now, so we're going through, you know, maybe 100 an hour, so it's going out pretty fast.
And some are creating their own roadside pop-up shops to sell their wares.
I have people from Alabama, Texas, and Washington all over. They had to stop in and they couldn't miss my sign.
The small town of Hopkinsville, Kentucky is expecting to add 200,000 visitors to its 30,000 residents. Tourists will be able to view the eclipse there for a full 2 minutes and 41 seconds, leading the city to dub itself Eclipseville.
I think that this has the potential to really just ignite a lot of different ideas and businesses that will want to come to our community once they see what a wonderful area this is to live in.
But some residents don't seem overly excited for the spectacle.
Planning on not leaving the house for a few days.
Yeah, you know, back in the early days, Shep, when my broadcast career began, I worked in Boise, Idaho for a few years, and Weiser, Idaho is one of those places that we'd go back and forth to. It's a great little small town. We had friends that actually drove from here up to Weiser to catch the total eclipse of the sun. And it took them about 2 days to get up, and now they turning back and heading back 2 days to get back. In Kentucky, they kind of compared this whole eclipse thing with the Kentucky Derby, really, meaning the hype goes on for weeks and weeks. The parties last for days and days, and the event itself, you know, it lasts only a few minutes. Oh, Kentucky Derby kind of without the wagering, but yeah, it's going across.
Down the stretch they come!
If you're north, down the stretch they come, and off they go, no wagering, and people are heading out.
But they wear funny hats.
Out every year, right? Funny hats and exactly right, tin hats. It's like Derby Day all over again in Kentucky, Shep.
It is. You know, I just got Chris Chandler just messaged me from down there on the bayou from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Tiger Country, and Chris and his family here on my phone. I would put this through the fancy graphics and let you see it all, but I don't really feel like it. They're down in Baton Rouge, so they're going to get a little bit eclipse of the sun. They're not going to have a total. They're not going to have a, what is it? Not a total eclipse of the sun down down in Baton Rouge, but they'll get a lot of it. Chris, you should text me back and tweet me back and let me know how much you're going to get. The next spot we're going to go is to Matt Finn land. Where is he again? Finn? He's in some town, Carbondale, Illinois, which is like over here. So they're having total eclipse of the sun stuff all through here. And what happens when there's a total eclipse of the sun, it's fascinating. It's really like an amazing thing. It turns the sun purple. I'm fascinated by it's fascinating. And this sun has a massive hole in it. This one over here, the sun in Casper, Wyoming, where it's coming back, it's orange. So now you can, forever tell your children, in Casper, the sun is an orange-red color. And in Carbondale, Illinois, I know because it's from NASA TV, it's purple. It is fascinating the way the moon is here and the sun is here and the earth is here and the moon gets in between the earth and the sun, and it's a total, what is it again? Total eclipse of the sun. We're going to Matt Finn in just a minute because Matt Finn is about 19 minutes away. The Dow has been reacting. The Dow is now off three points on this sun and moon news. I don't think they were aware down on Wall Street that this was going to happen today. So the Dow is off just a little bit. I'm looking. Barry Williams just sent me something. Barry Williams, look at this. Barry Williams is watching us here in the news deck, and look at that. See, he was watching when it was Casper, Wyoming. See that? Casper, that's our locator bug. I know that. And there he is. He's clearly, the backlight really is imperfect for taking the picture, but you work with what you have. And he's using a box of Bisquick. This is the first time, I believe, that I've seen a box of Bisquick used. So far, we're at Rice Krispies. We saw some Captain Crunch used, but this is the first Bisquick. So I think just for your ingenuity, Barry Williams, we'll give you a 9. A 9 on a 10 scale. And look at this. I like it when the puppies... Michelle Bronwell just sent this. If your dog is going to look, you have to make sure that the dog is properly glassed. Matt Finn, do you have any dogs with you in Carbondale today, or are you flying solo without a pet?
Well, Shepard, the mascot is the Salukis, and we saw 2 of them walking around. So there are 2 dogs here. We'll have to maybe see how they react once we have the total eclipse here. Right now, I have these state-of-the-art eclipse glasses on, right? When you look up at the sun, it looks like about a quarter of the way covered by the moon right now. And right behind me, we have some folks who drove here from Indianapolis. Is that correct? That's a pretty long haul.
Pardon me?
Pretty long haul.
We went to Evansville last night and then drove here this morning.
How far in advance did you book your hotel?
My nephew did it, and I think it was about 2 months.
Yeah, about two to 3 months in advance for the hotel, yeah.
We're hearing that people have hotels booked as far out as an hour away. Did you have some difficulty finding a room, or was it pretty early then?
It was no problem for us, but we were about 2.5 hours away, so...
We're playing the one-word game. Describe this event in one word.
I think I'll have to say awesome.
Awesome. How would you guys describe it?
Surreal.
What's that?
Surreal.
Surreal. Okay. One word to describe the eclipse.
Magnificent.
Magnificent. How about you guys? Where are you coming from?
Indianapolis as well.
One word to describe the pending eclipse.
Surreal.
How about you, buddy? One word to describe the eclipse.
Insane.
What's that?
Insane.
Insane. Okay. Well, the crowd is really picking up here. The band is playing Michael Jackson. That always works, right, Shepard? Yes. The capacity here about 15,000. It looks like they're starting to reach that. Just about an hour ago, these stands were maybe a quarter filled. So people are gearing up and getting ready for the pending full lunar eclipse, which will be visible for 2 minutes and 43 seconds from here in Carbondale, Illinois, the southern portion of the state. Shepard, back to you in New York.
He gave you the full Heisman there, that kid in the purple. Why did he hate on you?
I don't know. I missed it.
Why don't you ask him? The kid in the purple shirt right there. Ask him why he Heismaned you.
Buddy, are you the winner of the next Heisman Trophy in about 10 years?
No, he gave you the Heisman.
Yeah.
He said, "Stay away."
Definitely.
And now the camera cuts out again. It's the sun. Listen.
One word to describe.
Ooh. That music means it's 2 o'clock on the East Coast, 11 p.m. a.m. on the West Coast, and this is Fox News Channel's, as just described, awesome, surreal, and insane coverage of Carbondale, Illinois' total eclipse of the sun. Just by way of information, my stepsister, is down in Charleston. That's where the family lives. Hello, Cammie. Schools are closed in Charleston, South Carolina for this today. Cerrado, todos. All closed. 1 million extra people in the Charleston area today. Remember, Charleston is in South Carolina, and this will be the last spot. This morning they had lightning and some cloud cover, but you never know. You know, usually at 3 o'clock in the afternoon there in Charleston it rains. But Cammie says neighbors have moved in with each other so that they can rent out their homes, because 1 million extra people in the Charleston and Folly Beach and Mount Pleasant and Isle of Palms area today. And Lucia, there have been a lot of questions about my dog Lucia. My understanding of the situation with her, did you put her up?
Yeah.
This is the Earth, and Lucia, that's the Earth. And there's Lucia, Cam. Lucia is on a float in a pool. So this is on bat 8. So there's really no reason to have concerns about Lucia, for it would appear from the looks of this photograph that she is on a float in the pool. So let's get back to Matt Finn, who's there in Carbondale, Illinois. It's coming. How's the excitement? What's the level of things there, Matt? What's the level of things?
The level is very exciting, Shepard. The band is playing Michael Jackson. The crowd is fired up. A lot of clouds just covered the sun, so it got a little shady here, but I don't think that has much to do with the eclipse, because so far the sun is maybe only about a quarter covered so far, so not a huge change in temperature or sun, except for this huge cloud right now. You know, the stadium fits 15,000 people. Looks like we're going to get capacity any minute here. Guys, what do you think about the eclipse? Give me one word to describe it.
Awesome.
I think it's the word of the day, Shepard. We can't get past that one. Someone give us another word besides awesome.
Amazing.
Where are you guys coming from?
Epic. We came from Chicago.
Chicago. A lot of people here from Chicago today. How far are you staying at a hotel?
We stayed at a hotel in St. Louis last night. We made the rest of the drive this morning.
How long did it take you to get from St. Louis to Carbondale?
About 2.5 hours.
So that's a pretty committed trip from Chicago to St. Louis and then St. Louis to Carbondale this morning. You guys didn't want to miss it?
Didn't want to miss it. Wanted to make sure the kids got the opportunity to see something like this.
This is amazing.
Once in a lifetime. Well, it'll be around in 2024 again, right? But so, Shepard, it's a pretty cool environment here. It's being called a celestial Super Bowl, if you will. So, pretty exciting.
I was just Googling it. I see that you had to get a ticket there to get into Saluki Stadium. Go Salukis! You had to get a ticket to get in there. You said they're going to have 15,000. Is that true?
Well, the stadium hits 15,000 capacity, and I have to say, as you look around, you could see we're probably nearing capacity. Guys, did you buy a ticket to this event, and how much did it cost you?
Oh, $25. $0. I'm a student here. I bought them tickets.
So you paid $25?
Yeah.
What is the most expensive ticket today? Have you heard?
No idea.
One
okay,
word
hang
to
on.
describe
There's breaking news.
Lunar.
Right now, we have all together now.
Stand by, guys.
Total eclipse of the sun. Where is it now? Come on, it's in Beatrice, Nebraska. It's in Beatrice, Nebraska. Matt Finn is at Saluki Stadium. Sure. A Saluki is also known as a Persian Greyhound. It's a dog originally bred in the Fertile Crescent. The Saluki is classed as a slight hound and is typically deep-chested and long-legged. And here's hoping they have a very successful season coming up for the Salukis there in Illinois. It's 4 minutes past 1 o'clock, and our thanks to our great friends at KWCH, K-Witch they call it, K-Witch TV. They're always good to us, and today they're bringing us a total eclipse of the sun. It's happening right there. This is Total Eclipse of the Sun Watch 2017 on Fox News Channel, America's choice for news and information on cable. So, Matt, you can see if you have a television there that in Beatrice it's a total eclipse of the sun, and it's going to last a couple minutes. But where you are at Saluki Stadium will be the longest total eclipse of the sun of the day.
That's right. Arguably the best location in the United States, right here in southern Illinois, Shepard. We've got some people who want to be on camera. This looks like maybe a grandma and her grandmother, or granddaughter.
Hello.
Where are you guys coming
Salukis?
from?
Carterville.
Carterville.
And give us one word to describe this pending eclipse.
Awesome.
Oh, there it is again, Shepard. Awesome.
Awesome, wonderful.
It is
We're having a
awesome.
great time.
How long of a drive?
We live here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the town this busy, aside from maybe a football game?
No. I've worked at SIU for many years. This is the first I ever seen this busy.
Thank you, guys. Where are you guys coming from?
Chicago.
From Chicago. We have a lot of people here from Chicago. That's about a 5 or 6 hour drive. That's a pretty big commitment.
It was longer.
How long did it take you guys to get here?
About 11 hours because of the traffic. It was, yeah.
Did you leave this morning?
We left this morning at 3:30.
3:30. That's some commitment. So why here? Why today?
Oh, well, we just want to experience this for the first time. Yeah.
Oh, your mom? How you doing, Mom?
Hello.
Hello.
Give me one word to describe this lunar eclipse, if you will.
It's a solar eclipse.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. This young lady said wonderful. Yeah, I mean, now we're getting into walking room only.
Matt, I made a mistake.
In the walkways.
Matt, I made a mistake.
Yes.
It's not Beatrice. It's Beatrice, Nebraska. And I should have known that because my friends in Holly Springs back as a child, we'd say Beatrice, not Beatrice, but I thought it was an accent kind of thing. But as it turns out, even up in Nebraska, Beatrice, Nebraska, pictures courtesy of KWCH, K-Witch Television. It was what was it? It's a total eclipse of the sun. Gosh, they're still writing for the 3 o'clock news. It was total, but as you can see from the sliver effect there of the orange circular thing up there, that it's no longer a total eclipse. We're on the back end of a total eclipse of the sun. So Matt Finn, there will come a time in the not too distant future that you will have already experienced your 2 minutes and 43 seconds of total eclipse of the sun. It will then be on the back side of the sun and you'll go, wow, really? I think that's probably what will happen.
Yeah, pack it up and take off. Yeah, that's expected around 1:20 p.m. local time, Shepard. And I think that a lot of people will probably be rushing out of here after it's done, like you guys said.
Where are they going?
Hey, where are you guys coming from?
Naperville, Chicago.
Okay, we've got a question for you. What happens when the eclipse is over? Are you packing it up and taking it back to Chicago?
That's the plan.
That's the plan. And I think it might take you more than 6 hours to get back there today.
I'm expecting a pretty big crowd, so I don't know.
How long did it take you to get here?
Probably about 5.
What's that?
We actually came in last night, so it was okay. Not too bad.
Give us one word to describe the pending total eclipse.
Oh, it is just awesome.
Awesome? Okay.
Awesome.
Spectacular.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys book a hotel? Because we heard people have been booking hotels months in
We
advance.
did it 4 months in advance and we got it 2 hours away.
4 months in advance?
We got it 2 hours away.
And it's 2 hours away, and you guys packed it up from Chicago this morning.
Yeah, no, we stayed last night in Effingham, so it was 4 hours away. I'm sorry, 4 months back, yeah.
The shade from these clouds is a little bit of a relief from the sun, huh? Feels good.
Not right timing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we've already heard these guys say it's awesome and spectacular. Why don't we show you out in the field right now, Shepard?
I want to show you someone who just tweeted me. Sherry Brady just tweeted me. She is using the paper and aluminum foil method. This is Sherry Brady using the paper and aluminum foil method. And this is the paper here. And look at here. Apparently, this is best done in sock feet. Can you see that? Sock feet best used with the paper. There's something of which I was not aware prior to this moment. But my thanks to Sherry Brady for that. That's a picture of the sun. Turns out pictures of the sun are not that exciting. Chris Stewart has messaged. Chris Stewart, CS Stewart 24 here on the tweeter, has just sent these pictures of people wearing these glasses and lying down there with the chairs are green, the deck is wood. The people are watching the sun. It is a day of uniqueness across America. And as a result, I want to go to Lillian. I learned something else new in that last Matt Finn shot. I put my glasses on, looked up there at the key lights. You know, you have, for those of you studying lighting, you have key lights, you have fill lights. And the key lights are the bright ones. They shine right on you if you're on your mark, which I almost never am. And if you look at the key light, it's just not I think we should wear that all the time. It'd be much more pleasant from my end of things, and having to see less of me would probably be nice. What is it again, by the way? What do they call it?
A total solar eclipse.
Where have you been? What have we've been calling this for the last hour?
I know, but then John Glenn changed it a minute ago. He started it.
I know it's his last day, or I wouldn't be picking on him. It's Ash's last day. He quit a couple weeks ago. He's got a good new job. We're gonna miss you. But he said at the time, he goes, I want to stay. I'll stay one extra day for the eclipse because I know Ryan's off. Ryan's sitting out in West Hampton doing nothing. And you said you'd stay an extra day.
I did say that.
Good luck.
Here I am.
We'll miss you, Ash.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You got to leave on the day of a
total eclipse of the sun.
Good. It's about dang time you got that right. Lillian, what's happening here?
These guys say they are millennials watching the eclipse, and it's us in the background. So it's kind of a...
Oh, it's me and you.
Yeah.
You can see the microphone pack there. Go on.
A great way to watch the eclipse, watching us. This is a big group that's in Idaho. You got the family, you got baby doll, everybody's out there watching. This person at Wosauce, who encourages us people to follow him, has created this contraption.
I hope there's nothing vile on there.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
oh,
this is a baby in
my
Alabama.
goodness. Babies are maybe even better than animals.
Yes,
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Dana had a baby yesterday. My friend Dana had a baby yesterday.
That's great.
7 pounds there in Pittsburgh. Very happy for Dana and Tim. Happy baby day. Go on.
Lovely. This is another...
Oh, my, that is a method.
Yeah, so lots of interesting contraptions. Captain Cooper the dog.
Oh.
Some other
those
kids.
Are funny.
They're having
Good job.
a good time.
Very creative Americans today.
Yes, this one.
Believe in magic. Look at she's the cutest thing.
She's got to put her glasses back on, though.
Yeah, can't look at that.
No.
Oh, that's not good.
Some shadows.
You know, I looked for binoculars yesterday because I couldn't find any glasses, but finding binoculars that had the filters was very hard. You can't just use any. This is Susan sent me this just a minute ago. Tough to zoom in on this, Chuck. I apologize for that. But Susan sent this just a minute. The whole family there, and then I want to show you this other picture. Oh, can you see it, or is it? Can you see that? Susan and the dog. The dog is licking all over her face while they watch the what?
The total. Oh, now Ash has messed me up. It's a total eclipse of the sun.
That's how the song goes. You got any more pictures, or is that the last one?
Yeah, we can keep going. This is another dog. Oh, and I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Go ahead.
And he is protected. This one's name is Guinness.
Miss Guinness?
Yes.
Oh.
Also
Guinness to go with Corona and the absent Heineken of the day.
There you go.
And I just got Luke. That was a file picture of Lucia.
Oh.
This is a real life today picture of my girl Lucia, who turned 1, by the way, August 19th. She's a
happy birthday, Lucia.
She is wearing. Lucia is wearing safety goggles, as you can see. Lucia, the magical fruit. The more that you eat, we know how the rest of it goes. What do you think's happening out there in Carbondale?
Some excitement.
Matt Finn, are they about to jump out of their skin, Matt Finn?
Hey, Shepard, we've got a little bit of disappointment here because this thing has been a lifetime in the making, right? And I don't know if my photographer can show you, but a huge pile of clouds just rolled directly in front of the sun, and we cannot see it whatsoever. So after all this,
call the production manager, remove the clouds.
We're trying. We're getting some fans and trying to blow them out of the way, but I don't know if that's going to work. So for now, it looks like these clouds are going to... Salukis. Guys, what are your thoughts if you don't see the eclipse? What are your thoughts if you don't see this thing? You're speechless, right?
Yeah, well, we're hoping to see it. And are you going to be talking when it's total eclipse?
We will be quiet, I promise. Guys, a lot of commitment here, a lot of planning. What happens if you came all the way and have not seen the eclipse?
You know what? The environment alone is a lot of fun. So just getting everybody here who's excited about what's happening, I mean, it'll be dark, right?
Will you be disappointed if you don't see the thing?
Never. No, would you?
I would too. Yeah. I don't blame her.
The mouth of babes.
She's on
Guys,
point.
if you came all this way, drove from Chicago, paid for a hotel, what are your thoughts if these clouds roll in the final minutes and block the eclipse?
It's going to be disappointing, but we could still see the rest of the sky.
The rest of the sky?
Well, whatever is left of it. But I would say that I got to wait another 7 years.
Another 7 years, true. There is going to be an eclipse 2024 here, Shepard, and it's going to roll right through Carbondale.
Oh my
again.
God, you're already looking ahead to 2024. We got to get this thing right today in Carbondale. They're at Saluki Stadium. I don't know what is wrong. You know who I blame? I blame the local meteorologist.
I don't know. This is all I can say is rats.
Oh, that's the first for the day. Rats. It went from awesome to rats. Guys, what happens if you don't see this thing?
I'll be disappointed.
Disappointed? Okay. Well, I think, Shepard, those are some of the sentiments coming from the crowd. We just went from awesome and spectacular to rats and disappointment, but we'll keep our eye on this thing because maybe the sun will peek out. And I promise to be quiet.
Look how dark it is in Jefferson City. Oh, live view. That was Jefferson City, Missouri on the left-hand side of your screen. Yeah, that was my favorite question of the day. Here we go. Question of the day from Matt Finn, Carbondale, Illinois. Are you going to be talking when it's total eclipse of the sun? That was a good question. This is the sister Cammie and the Guerreri family all sitting there in the backyard down in South Kakalaki waiting for it to happen. Where is that on the left-hand side of the screen right now? There's no locator up there. That's Charleston. That's where they are. They're at Charleston. And see over there, if I could reach into that, I can't do that though. It's not how it works. Oof. It doesn't work like that. As you can see, this is from earlier. This one here is from earlier. And that one over there, that's Charleston right now. But first I want to go to Casey Stiegel. He's live at Ellington Field in Houston. Not to be confused with Houston, where 2 NASA planes took off earlier to capture the high-def video of the thing. What's happening there, Stiegel?
Well, Shepard, I can tell you that the people of Houston have been waiting for this for some time because it's about 1 million degrees here, about 200% humidity, so any shade from the sun is certainly welcomed. They're only about getting 66% totality here, and so we're about the height of that coverage. But these NASA planes, boy, they are incredible. We watched them take off earlier from this point at 11:15 Eastern Time. They were flying at some 400 miles per hour at an altitude of 50,000 feet, and they were zipping over to Kansas City, Missouri, and they were going to follow the path of this eclipse throughout Missouri, Kentucky, and some of those areas that are experiencing totality. But the really cool part about it is because they are so high, well above the first layer of the atmosphere, NASA scientists tell us it's extremely clear up there. So there's no weather, there's no dust in the air or anything like that. So that allows them to get some of the best images that have ever been captured of an event like this, because of course technology has evolved a whole lot since the last time we had one of these. So what is going to happen is any minute now, the very first plane is going to enter totality. That's 1:16 local time here at NASA, 2:16 Eastern, and then at 1:19 local, 2:19 Eastern, the second plane is going to enter totality. And they are going to be flying through that for about 7 or 8 minutes. So the pilots on board those planes have a very special show because they are going to be in totality for much longer than anyone down here on Earth could ever see. And any minute now, when they enter totality, they are going to be beaming images back down here to us on the ground. And we're going to start to see some of the very first images of NASA starting to come out from this from way up above. A whole lot to learn from this mission, Shepard. And
to learn, and we'll learn it when it's over. But right now, I want to go to Saluki Stadium. Matt Finn is there. Matt, you're just 3 minutes away from a total eclipse of the sun. How's it going?
I'm going to be a little quiet right now, Shepard. I don't want to interrupt anyone. I'll be a little quiet, but I'll tell you what, the clouds just parted, and you could see the eclipse now. The clouds just parted, and we're about 2 minutes away from the total solar eclipse. The crowds went wild here in southern Illinois.
Go Salukis. Look at that. It's on the left side of your screen. The sun is smaller in Carbondale, as you can see, than it was in other cities. And also they're shooting it from a boat. But it's a total eclipse. There's that guy who wants you to be quiet. I remember him. Look at him. What is he using? He's using the Amazon.com version. And now glasses. Don't look up with just the glasses. Don't do it. Oh my God. Can't tell him. He just won't listen. And the crowd went wild.
The eclipse. They are going wild. And here comes the clouds again, actually. So we're about to lose sight of the eclipse. But people are still cheering.
Obviously.
Very much darker. It almost feels like an ambient light here. Extremely dark.
Ambient. That's awesome. Look at that. Memories. Misty watercolored memories. Tell somebody to say something amazing and awesome.
Jimmy, what are your thoughts, guys?
This is awesome. Very cool. Yeah.
There it is. What do you think, ma'am?
Fantastic.
Are you happy the clouds parted a little bit there?
Oh, yes.
Where are you guys coming from?
Champaign, Illinois.
I'm going to get yelled at against Shepard. I better be quiet.
Oh, please. Tell me. They went to a stadium. I mean, what do you want?
It'd be a long drive back to Michigan.
Is that where you came from, Michigan?
Yes. They're from northern Michigan.
Boy, it's almost entirely
It's some
dark
kind of
here.
dark there in Saluki land. Man, wow, look at that. Show us a picture of the stadium. Widen out. Show us a picture. Just be quiet.
Sven, let's pan to the left and show a picture of the
beautiful.
stadium.
Stay with that. That's gorgeous.
It looks like dusk. It looks like a sunset, if you will, right behind, like a dusk. So this is a 15,000 capacity stadium, and in the end, it looks like about 15,000 people are here.
Wow.
People driving from all over the country: Michigan, Florida, Texas. A lot of people from Chicago, which might sound like an easy trip, but that's a 5 or 6 hour drive.
I think, not the video of the animation, but just the music of the animation. Now, if you could, there in the control room, just the music to set the scene and make us feel in the moment and hit it. What is it, deck team? What is it called? It's a total eclipse of the sun. How do you feel, Matt? How do you feel?
I think it's pretty cool. It's being called the Celestial Super Bowl, and that's what it feels like here. It's transcendent, if you will. And, I mean, it feels like the sun just set, like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night on a summer evening. It looks like there's a sunset over there, but here we are at about 1:25 in the afternoon, almost total darkness. So, for the people who made the trek here, I think it's definitely worth it. We're going to have 2 minutes and 43 seconds of near darkness, which is the longest period in the entire country. So people made the pilgrimage here, and it looks like it paid off. For a moment there, about 5 minutes before the total eclipse, clouds came in and covered it. You saw we interviewed some people, and now the clouds cleared and it's almost entirely dark. So pretty cool show.
Like you had a really good production manager there, and it just happened on cue. Get pan around there, Photog. Keep it wide and pan around. We love the pictures. Amazing.
Sven, let's pan over to the left.
Yeah, just show it. Sven,
Show the
Sven's a
sunset.
great
Well, here we go.
photographer.
Sven is a great photographer.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's been hustling out here. Now, I don't know, what are we, about halfway through this thing? So in a short while, it's going to feel like maybe a sunrise here in the middle of the afternoon, and
sunrise,
the light will come back out.
Sunset.
And you can see all the cell phones, of course.
She sang that live on the other network, but we'll do our part.
Pretty cool.
Oh, awesome. It's amazing. Right. It's awesome. Look at them. Look at that. How would you describe these two?
Awesome. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? So loud they can't even hear us, Shep.
Oh.
All right, here comes the sun now.
Here comes
it is only
the
about
sun.
The sun. Yeah, if you guys can cue that up.
I'm queuing it up now.
You know what? In the end, we saw the eclipse. No disappointment. Was it worth the trip?
Absolutely.
Are you going to be back here in 2024? Because you know this happens again in 2024 right here in Carbondale.
If I'm alive.
Spirit, what do you guys think coming from St. Louis?
Most definitely. Be back.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Apparently we don't have the rights to that.
There it is. Love it.
It's guys, coming out. Describe the reemergence of the solar activity.
Okay, describe the reemergence of the sun.
Here
we are in the middle of the afternoon and it's daylight again.
I wish it was longer.
Wish it was longer? Okay, but we got 2 minutes and 43 seconds out of it.
I wish it was longer. I was like, hey, wait, hang on, a little more.
What do you guys think? Was it worth it all?
It was amazing. It was pretty unbelievable. It was dark. It looked like there was a sunset on the horizon, and it was totally dark for 2 minutes. So at 1 in the afternoon, right?
So family of 4, what happens next? You pack into the car and drive back?
Well, we just got here in the nick of time, so I think we're going to hang out and enjoy the carnival and the festivities here, and then hit the road. Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us, guys. So yeah. It's been a carnival-like experience here for at least the 24 hours. Yes.
Matt, that was amazing and awesome and fantastic. I want to show you what we got over here. Come this way. Come this way. It's Hopkinsville, Kentucky. What do we have, everyone? A total eclipse of the bang! Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Look at that. Hopkinsville, Kentucky. This is from KDVR. That's our station out of Denver. They've clearly driven their satellite truck to Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and now at 25 minutes past 1 o'clock Eastern, local time, because it's past 2 o'clock in the East, total eclipse of the sun in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Matt Finn, how do you think they're feeling in Hopkinsville?
They're probably feeling awesome, Shepard. That would be my guess.
That'd be my guess as well.
You know what? Good job on cueing Here Comes the Sun. That was perfect timing. Guys, what do you think after all this? Was it worth the trip?
Oh, definitely. Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime. Festive.
Festive. I like it.
Yeah. That's a word we use in the family a lot, but it's hot here right now. I can tell you that much. But otherwise, guys, what do you think? Yeah. Keep coming back to them. Fun. What do you think, ma'am? You drove here from Michigan, right?
Yes, we did. We drove our grandchildren this time, and next time, 2024, they can bring us.
Thank you, guys.
Crusader sent me a picture.
So now on to...
Crusader sent me a picture. Crusader's kind of kidding, kind of not. That's a clip from some movie. Trace Gallagher's good. Hey, Trace, how do you think they're feeling in Hopkinsville, Kentucky? That's over there. Hopkinsville, Kentucky. They're having a
total eclipse of the sun. It's kind of a competition between Hopkinsville and where Matt finished at, because they were 1 and 2, right? Hopkinsville kind of renamed itself Eclipseville because in Hopkinsville the eclipse lasts like 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and where Matt Finn is, it lasted 2 minutes and 43 seconds. So those are kind of the 1 and 2 Eclipseville pinnacles of the United States. You and Lillian were talking. I was trying to jump in there, but this is some fascinating stuff these are from astronomers and just people reporting around the world. When the eclipse happens, there are reports that songbirds went quiet, large farm animals were lying down, crickets began to chirp, and chickens apparently began to roost. There was an astronomer that said that he's in Bolivia, a line of llamas gathered together to see the total eclipse with him and his fellow astronomers, and that dozens of whales and dolphins swam to the surface of the ocean 5 minutes before the eclipse began, and they hung out until 5 minutes after the eclipse, and then they took off before returning to the watery depths.
What?
Orb weaver spiders, I have no idea
Is
what
that
orb
real,
weaver spiders
Trace? I just got creeped out by that.
Yeah, this is actually, these are first-hand accounts from these astronomers that are kind of viewing these from several places around the world. And they report things like orb weaver spiders. I have no idea what those are. They start to dismantle their webs during the totality of the total eclipse of the sun, and then they rebuild the webs once the sun reveals itself again. That's kind of cool, right? And then zooplankton in the path of totality will rise in the water column as the sun is obscured by the moon. I mean, these are just kind of facts you have to have, but these are reports coming in from around the world of bizarre things that people are seeing as we watch Hopkinsville, Eclipseville, as they call it, for another few seconds or so.
Have you guys seen any weird things happening here?
Not here.
Not here, no.
Not
what have we been experiencing?
Total eclipse of the sun.
That's true. Every industry has websites that cover them. We all have websites. We have a few, and one of them is Mediaite. Look at the top of Mediaite. What do you think, John Glenn?
I think that you clearly did have a great time covering this.
No, I'm faking it, John Glenn. I'm faking it. What are we having?
A total solar eclipse. Solar eclipse of the sun. Dude, no, come on.
It's a total. Think of this.
You're just putting words.
Total eclipse of the heart.
Okay,
remember?
I'm not going to sing it. Though.
Now it'll help you know that everyone appreciates that.
Right.
Josh Feldman, thanks for the shade. I don't know. I think he gave us props there. Another thing is going to happen here in a second that you're all going to find. It's not going to be as amazing as Hopkinsville, which is on the right-hand side of your screen now. On the right-hand side of your screen, Hopkinsville has finished its total eclipse of the sun. We're now looking at the back side of the total eclipse of the sun. And that's kind of what it looks like. What's happened is, strangely, and without anybody realizing it was going to happen, the sun, which is always up here, and the earth, which is always here, the moon has gotten in between the two things, and you can't see the sun for a minute. and total eclipse of the sun. And right now, because it's 3 o'clock on the East Coast and it's getting into main sun 2:30, it's main sun not viewing time. We're going to let stations across America join us here on Fox News Channel. And good afternoon from Fox News in New York. I'm Shepard Smith, and this is Fox News coverage of the total eclipse of the sun on Fox News Channel and Fox television stations and my stations across America. It began way out there on the West Coast. Out in Oregon, they had a total eclipse of the sun in Oregon earlier today, and then they had it in Idaho, and then they had it there in Wyoming. More recently, they've had it in Nebraska. Since then, they've had it in Missouri, where they showed me, and pretty soon we're going to volunteer the whole thing and have it in Tennessee. It's a total eclipse of the sun, and if you're watching on Fox television stations across the nation, no matter where you are in America, you can go outside and see it at one point or another. Can't see all of it, can't see a total eclipse, but you can see the moon getting in between you and that big ball of fire up there from time to time in different degrees of thoroughness. But it is happening. It's happening everywhere, including in Clemson, South Carolina, home of them Tigers, and actually a new poll came out today, the new one, and they got Clemson in about 5th place this year. After, you know, I remember recently winning it all. At the university, in Clemson University in South Carolina, where we're getting a view of the total eclipse with a weather balloon. What's happening there, Jonathan?
Yeah, we are. A lot of research going on. They launched 2 weather balloons, so in case the clouds moved in, that they'd be able to get a good aerial view, not only of the eclipse looking upward, but also the moon's shadow looking downward across the land. Fortunately, the clouds have cleared. You can see the sun. What's left of it, just a little crescent sliver of the sun, and it's casting this very eerie light here. It is amazing how even a fraction of the sun can illuminate this area, but it's a very eerie light here. Want to talk to some people who've come out to see the eclipse. This is Abe, is it?
Correct, that's correct, yes, sir.
Where have you driven a long distance to come to Clemson?
Actually, I'm a Clemson student. So.
Oh, fantastic! So
Go
the
Tigers! Describe it in one word.
What do you think? Describe it.
It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a little crowded, so I'm not used to this crowd. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, and we'll have more as the sun continues to disappear over Clemson.
Look at it. Look up there at it, but not without your glasses, Jonathan.
Okay,
do you have glasses?
Now.
Watch Jonathan.
I do.
Oh, it's good.
I came prepared.
Yep.
Just a sliver.
Just a sliver up there. They're all wearing. Ask them what they think about this new poll having Clemson 5th and Bama 1st. Ask somebody that. I know what we're going to hear. No, ask them. Go ahead.
All right. So tell me about this. This is a poll.
No, I was serious. No, Jonathan, ask him. What do you think about them having Clemson 5th and Bama 1st? Ask the question. Thank you.
Clemson 5th, Bama 1st. Poll came out. What do you think, Abe?
No, Clemson's #1 always in my heart.
We're national championship. And that's the unbiased opinion from Clemson, Chuck.
Well, that's exactly what I expected. I would have expected nothing different. That's Charleston there on the left side. You know, the one thing we know about Charleston, South Carolina, boys and girls, the one thing we know about Charleston is that's the last spot. Here in the continental United States, if you want to see the... come on. Say it again. If you want to see God, you cannot get good help these days. If you want to see the total eclipse of the sun at the last spot in all the place, it's right there in Charleston, South Carolina, Isle of Palms, somewhere around in there. And that's what they're seeing on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side of your screen right now. It's not a total eclipse of the sun, but I'll be darned if it is not almost there. And same in Clemson. How's it feeling now, Jonathan?
People are getting excited. There's still just a sliver of the sun remaining. Let me talk to this gentleman. Are you a Clemson student? I assume how you're dressed?
Incoming freshman, yes.
Oh, congratulations. What do you think?
Tiger bait.
Unreal. It's like the first time in like 700 years, was it? 70 years around there?
At least that.
But this is really exciting.
And you're starting your freshman year with an eclipse. Nice way to start college.
It's a great way to start college. I am so excited for the next 4 years to see all the opportunities I can get.
How about you, sir? What are you expecting?
I think it's a great way to kick off the school year. I mean, coming off of a national championship win, I couldn't be more excited.
And tell me about the light, the eclipse. It's kind of eerie, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of looks like you're looking through sunglasses right at the moment. It doesn't, it's a weird sensation almost.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you very much. Right now, the light is as if you are looking outside on a sunlit day with some very powerful sunglasses.
Here's what we're going to try to do. Watch all those cameras in the background back there. They're all getting repositioned because you know where we're going. We're going to go back to the staging area. Back behind this studio. See, those aren't real windows. This is a studio on the 12th floor. The word I'm going to see if I don't know because I've been right here, as you know. We've been doing the vision telling. We'll be back in time for Charleston without any doubt. But I want to see what's happening in New York. So come on. This is high. This is the way. This is the back entrance. We have a service elevator back here. This is Patricia. She's the greatest assistant in all of America. Sits there every day. Always there. And back here is where today we're serving lunch. I tell you what, the company went all out today. Thank you, company. And up there is where the sun goes. This is a bridge over troubled waters. That's Times Square right down there. That's Times Square. Right down here, that's Haven Roof Deck. Where we always look out, and it's cloudy in New York. Wait. Chuck, you got to do this first. Nope. Covered by the sun. Yeah, covered by the clouds. I get confused. Covered by the clouds and all the buildings. But look down there. Look at the street, Chuck. You can see people looking up. Like in front of Haven over there was a guy in a white shirt looking up. You know what New Yorkers don't do? They don't look up. Tourists look up. You come to New York, they're big tall buildings, you look up. Oh, look at the building. New Yorkers don't do that. They know the building is there already. And they don't look. But when you're supposed to be having a what?
Total eclipse of the sun.
They won't do.
I don't know.
I don't know. You can't. So here it's a little darker than usual, but it's not like dark. Jonathan Seri, I hear it's really dark where you are, though. Yoo-hoo! Go Tigers!
They're coming to you.
Yeah, they're on you. Speak, Jonathan. You're amazing.
He's talking to you.
Shep, this is amazing.
Yeah, like I said.
We are watching the moon totally cover the sun.
Yoo-hoo!
And what was a daylight crowd here has now turned into, it looks like an evening concert. Wow. Everyone holding up their phones, and you can see, right now I can see a planet up in the sky, not dim enough yet to see any stars, but it looks like we're probably 20 minutes after sunset. It is absolutely
amazing.
Amazing.
Knew it.
And Abe, while you're taking pictures, let me ask you, what do you think? Take me through this.
It's pretty cool. I've never seen something like it, so it's awesome. I love it.
This is new to me. I'm speechless. So put some words in my mouth. Help describe it to people watching around the country.
Gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
That's
and you can
cool.
hear the fans. They're happy about it in Clemson tonight.
Awesome.
Tonight.
How about you? Your thoughts?
Oh, I am speechless. This is unreal. It just got from a whole sun, like 5 seconds, it went all the way down to just darkness.
That's my roommate right here. That's my boy Matt.
Can we give a shout out to my Nana and my uncle watching?
Hey, Nana.
Yes, because they are huge Fox News Channel fans, so I'm glad I was able to get you on.
Thank you so much.
And how about you? How would you describe it in a word?
Easily one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Nice.
It's incredible. I mean, I didn't expect the sun to be around the moon like that.
Well, that's what happens.
Amazing. And now we have that beautiful view of the corona, the moon completely blocking the sun, but the corona, the sun's outer atmosphere, is absolutely beautiful. And while all of these Clemson students and visitors from far away are oohing and eyeing, there are astronomers who are recording these images, part of astronomers lining up telescopes, 68 telescopes, identical along the entire path of the eclipse, and they're going to splice together all of the footage that they've shot so that they can study how this corona changes over the course of
hang on, Jonathan. Hang on.
Yeah.
Wait, look at the Truman balcony in Washington. President Trump. Let's see if we hear from him. He needs glasses.
He will. He's got him.
President and First Lady on the Truman balcony with lots of people out there. Let's listen in case they say something. Waving at the crowds. Here we go. We've seen the President, the First Lady, Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Ivanka Trump, and Sport and Style, Wilbur Ross back behind there, sporting some styling glasses too, very similar to mine, which makes her awesome. Well, let's keep watching this. The President and others there on the Truman balcony enjoying the day. And Ernie Jacobs is with us from Trenton, South Carolina. Drove more than 15 hours from way up in Buffalo, New York to see Totality. He says he's been planning this trip for more than 2 years. How is it?
It's amazing. We're in Totality right now. We're just there. We're at, like, the Diamond Ring and Bailey's Beach. It's unbelievable. It's awesome. We can see stars start to come out. The Diamond Ring is happening right now. We can start to see the sun's corona. This is, I wish I had the words to describe this. It's just spectacular. This is what awesome is intended for.
Ernie, 15-hour drive, 2 years you've been planning it. Was it worth it?
Oh, I would have drove 100 hours.
Huh. What is it about it that is so affecting you?
It's just the whole spectacle. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. It's coming back. We got the filter back on. Totality's over.
So you got just a little sliver there on the backside where you are.
Yeah.
In Trenton.
Minute 37.
And there it is now. That's Charleston on the left-hand side of your. Excuse me, Ernie. That's Columbia, South Carolina, on the left-hand side of your screen, and that is a what? I think you're getting better at this as the day goes on. The pride is welling up inside me. Ernie, the President is watching this at the same time you do. We're having a lot of fun today, or that's the goal. But the come-togetherness of all of this, the whole country. Hundreds, more than 100 million people doing this at the same time. There's something to that, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I think it all brings us together and realize that we're all connected and all, you know, the sun's 93 million miles away, the moon's 240,000 miles away. Here we all, and we're all connected in this universe together.
I like that, you know, and as we're watching this is the first family there. Taking a minute to come out and sort of enjoy it with the rest. You see Sun Baron out front and enjoying it as well. They're not getting a total eclipse in Washington, obviously. The total eclipse is you got to go a few states south into South Carolina, where they're having it right now in Columbia, South Carolina. But a good partial eclipse in Washington for the first family, for all of us to enjoy. And I don't know, you know, coming into the day, I'm stuck in a studio for this, but I've really enjoyed hearing from people all across the country, Ernie, including you.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it.
What are you feeling now? You're on the back side of it. The thing you've been waiting for 2 years has happened. Now how you feel?
I'm speechless. Obviously, I wish I could share this with my wife and my daughter. Fortunately, my daughter's starting school today, back up in Buffalo. But I'm just shaking. I'm speechless. I'm fortunate to be able to share this with my 81-year-old dad and my 88-year-old uncle. And I think this is a memory of a lifetime.
Wow, that's amazing. How are they taking this?
I think everybody's genuinely amazed. Yeah. Hey, can we get a shout out?
You do the shout.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. What's up, Uncle and Dad? Hope it was everything you dreamed of and more.
They are. They're not near the phone.
Oh well, I did my best. I can't get any louder.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm almost. I don't know. I can't describe my heart has just been beating 100 million miles an hour.
Well, Ernie, there's medication for that. I hope you've had a fantastic day. I hope we didn't harsh your vibe having you here, and thanks so much. And listen to this, guys. For those of you watching on my network television stations, on Fox Broadcast Network, on the Fox News Channel, on satellite and cable, all around the world, the total eclipse of the sun, which began on the west coast of the United States and finishes on the east coast of the United States, is finished. Totality is over. The first family came out and watched, and now has gone back inside, and we've all kind of enjoyed this together. Nothing really changed, but we got a nice break, didn't we? For those of you on our broadcast stations, thanks for tuning in. We're going to return you to your local programming, where we'll continue analysis and looking at the sun on the Fox News Channel on satellite and cable. I'm Shepard Smith, Fox News, New York. And now it's just us in cable land. It's just me and you. Time to look up and see the backside of the sun, and there it is. That's the backside of the sun. How was it? Was it everything? What do you think? Who we got down there in South Carolina? Nice. Jonathan, was it everything? Was it awesome? Was it amazing?
Yeah, it was totally amazing. In fact, can we bring you back, guys? I was just interviewing some students and one of their friends on tape. Jamie, you're visiting from out of town. Was it worth the trip?
It was worth the trip. To enjoy it with my friends, so I won't have to watch it alone.
And Naisha, you're actually a Clemson student. What was your favorite part of the eclipse?
My favorite part was when the full eclipse happened. Everyone just screaming and celebrating together, and we got to witness other planets just like looking up in the sky. So it was amazing. And this is my senior year, so it's a great experience.
And what was your favorite?
Just hearing the people scream. It was like a football game, just without all the lights, I guess.
It really was one of those moments, Naisha was telling me, that brings everyone together, and we were joking that we should really have more eclipses in this country.
We should. Can you set that up? Could one of your producers get on that?
Yeah, I'll get Chip on it right now.
Yeah, Chip will get it done. John Glenn,
right.
John Glenn's really smart. John Glenn, he's really smart, and he's our one of the people who runs things around here. And he was just showing me this amazing picture. He's working on the next hour. It's Pac-Man took a bite. It's all of that, except there's a little bitty different thing.
Except there is a little different thing. You see some marks across here.
Yeah.
And these are just sunspots. But then you look at this one a little more closely, and you realize that's actually the International Space Station flying across the sun. And it's only, it's roughly the size of a football field. So they're picking this up. I think they're doing something like 4,000 frames per second to pick this up.
Wow.
Just see it silhouetted. You can actually see its solar arrays that power it right there as it crosses in front of the sun.
That is, as everyone across America would say, awesome and amazing.
It really is awesome and amazing.
It really is. Like, this is the picture. We have big iPads here, so we can do things like that. But this is the eclipse happening. This is the moon coming over the sun, and they've zoomed in far enough, and then there's the ISS. What do you think they're doing up there? I bet they're taking pictures.
I think they're studying. They had about 8 cameras pointed at the sun, pointed at the eclipse. This is, for them, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really get some great data on the eclipse.
What do you think? Like, you've been reading on this. What are they hoping to actually learn from all of this? I know they want to learn about the corona and stuff, but I don't really understand what they want to learn.
I think learning more about the sun's atmosphere would be really helpful. You remember there was that one, I think you mentioned earlier, that eclipse in 1915 or
1918, which was a great year. It was the last time the Red Sox won the World Series until recently.
But it helped prove Einstein's theory of relativity. So because you could see Mercury's orbit was a little, as he predicted. So I don't know if they're anticipating anything on that scale this time. But you never know. I mean, this is why they do science, because you discover these wild things that advance humanity in ways that you hadn't anticipated.
That was fantastic. Yeah. Truly. But this is why you do science.
Yeah.
That's another good reason.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed this experience?
I have very much. Have you?
I have. I didn't know if I was going to, because I thought they might make me be serious.
Yeah.
And you don't know until you try. We're just having a good time. And if they call you and tell you, hey, knock it off. But nobody's called.
No, because we're having too much fun.
So this come together part, I wasn't in touch with that before it happened.
That come together
like
with
that everyone's going to be doing the same thing all over the country, and it would be cool, and it is cool.
That's right. It's something to bring us all together.
What are you working on?
I'm actually working on our 3 p.m. show.
Yeah, this is the USS McCain crash. That's
right.
More serious. It's kind of been nice to have a break from all this.
It has been nice. It seems like a lot of viewers on Twitter too agree.
Yeah, which is
nice break from.
Which is kind of rare. Yep. Our Twitter. Sanitas, have you had a nice time, or have you been working the whole time?
I've been working a lot of Steve Bannon news right now.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
Well, we left that alone for a while. That's what I get for going to Zanitas. Yeah. Casey Stiegel, you know where I want to go to Trace. Trace, I didn't anticipate this, and I'll say it for the last time, this awesome, amazing, come-together-y kind of thing with everybody doing the same thing across the country. I've rather liked it.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, the whole thing is, Shep, you talk about these moments in time when everybody gets together, and we don't have many of them. I mean, we've covered big events over years, and there are things that people kind of gather around their televisions all across the country. I remember you and I went on for hours over the Balloon Boy, and it was kind of the last time I saw so many cameras pointed toward the sky. We had this kid in the balloon, at least we thought, and that silver balloon was going by, man, and they had all the cameras pointed up at the sky, and everybody in America, every bar, every place you watch, they had their eyes glued on this, what we thought was a kid trapped in a balloon. Turned out the kid was never in there. It was a big hoax. But things like that, you see that just people kind of come together in wonder and astonishment that anything is possible. And this is kind of that day. And you were touching on earlier the fact that although there is this joyous kind of togetherness moment, there's also been a lot of shysters out there trying to deal, crappy goods like these glasses. Where I was watching the president put on his eclipse glasses, and then you kind of learn is that you've got a lot of these glasses out there that are fake. And the problem is with these fake glasses, and many of them were sold on Amazon.com, a lot of these glasses, if you do not have the type that is, properly rated, you can actually burn your retinas up by looking into the sun. So I know it's all over, but just if you don't know, if you look on your glasses and you find the numbers 12312-2, that means your glasses are legit. The other ones, throw them away. If you have to, you can make a viewing thing out of a cereal box, some tin foil, and a thumbtack. That's how easy it is. It's not going to burn your retinas. But as far as coming together, it's amazing to go out, even here in Southern California, and see people on the rooftops, in the parking lots. And we are nowhere near the epicenter of this thing. And to see people out all over Southern California and New York just kind of looking up at the sky. And then you hear stories about whales and dolphins coming to the surface 5 minutes before, staying until 5 minutes after, and then going back to the depths. It kind of shows you that every living thing in some capacity is connected in events like these. Shep.
It's so true. I was wondering, when it's dark at my house, people go to bed and stuff like that. But when it's really dark at the house, Lucia goes to bed. And she just does it. You don't have to tell her. And I wondered today what would happen when it got, dark out, if Lucia would go to bed. And as it turned out, she did not. She had her glasses on, and she just stayed out there. But of course, in New York, it never got completely dark. So Lucia probably didn't think, it's crate time. She just sat around, kept barking at people, and didn't even realize this whole great thing was happening. This is from Nashville, my favorite city in the South, I think. My favorite bigger city in the South. Oxford's a favorite other size, but big city in the South. That's a favorite one. Nashville, Tennessee, amazeballs with awesome sauce. And they're still experiencing a little bit of it. You know, they're in the central time zone, though barely. So it's 1:54 p.m. in Nashville right now. And they've got a what? No. Not this time. They have a partial eclipse. So, you know, finally, you know, they get a little energy about them, and then they're wrong. And you know what happens? You're wrong. Twitter explodes on you. It vomits all over you, covers you in tweets. But not for you people, no, because you were correct. We corrected it quickly, as is our duty. Who is it? Casey Stiegel. What do you think NASA's going to get out of this? Do you think they'll bring an eclipse home with them?
Well, Shepard, we're waiting on those planes to come back, but I was just told by one of the NASA spokespeople walking by that it was a successful mission. Those planes, they had some technical difficulties beaming the images back from being in the totality. They were basically chasing the eclipse over the Midwestern portion of the United States. We're told it was a successful mission, but we are just waiting right now for those images to come in. They say that they are the best images of the sun and the sun. Corona
Casey,
that have ever been captured. Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, I'm back here in the area. This is that sky bridge back behind our studio on the 12th floor, in case you ever want to shoot a missile up here, on the 12th floor. And this is the bridge between two buildings. That's the service elevator. Out here's the sun. It's an eclipse. It's actually real. Until this moment, I've only seen it inside the television box. But now Fox News can now confirm it's a partial eclipse of the sun, and it's happening right here on the sky bridge. Everybody on the deck, if you want to come out and watch it, I think you should. I've got a pair of glasses everybody can share. How would I describe it? I was just asked. I would say awesome and amazing. And look down there on the ground. The people, what? Oh, we have a terminal break in 20 seconds. We have to take a commercial break. Oh, it's a terrible time for a commercial. It's our first commercial in hours. When finally I can see, there it is. We're 8 seconds to a terminal break. 5. Let's just 4, 3. We'll be back with more coverage right after this.
If you're the spouse of a military veteran, I want you to know something. Your spouse has earned the right to apply for a VA home loan. A VA home loan is unique. It's different than other loans because it allows you to borrow up to 100% of the home's value. That extra borrowing power may allow you to pay down debt, lower your monthly payments, put cash in the bank, and give you the peace of mind that every veteran deserves.
Go to newdayusa.com or call 1-855-676-4735. It's a new day for veterans who want to lower their monthly payment.
That's me.
The New Day 100 VA loan lets you refinance your mortgages, consolidate your credit card debt, get cash, and lower your payments an average of $640 a month. New Day will even pay for your appraisal.
That's me.
As a vet, you've earned the right to apply for a home loan that's VA guaranteed. For veterans who want to refinance, that can mean a lot.
That's me.
Call New Day USA now, 1-855-676-4735.
What are they doing? They're using automation to cut errors and build apps faster.
But why aren't they yelling? Yeah, where's all the chaos?
Yeah, the frustration. The anguish. It's a modern software factory. We don't really do anguish.
Here is something big banks don't want you to know about your IRA or 401k. Store your retirement at home. With the Augusta Home Delivery Gold IRA, you can transfer your current IRA or 401k into approved physical gold and silver coins. No management fees, no depository fees, and you have direct physical control over your IRA because your IRA gold and silver coins will be delivered to your door with free shipping and free insurance. You can store approved coins in your safe safe at home or in a safety deposit box at your local bank. Augusta Precious Metals is the leader in home delivery gold IRAs. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, AA from the BCA, gold and silver have been the family business for over 40 years. Call 800-345-4IRA for our free guide to Augusta Home Delivery Gold IRAs and discover how you can get up to $2,000 in silver free. If you can't hold it, do you really own it?
TC Chaos, campus craziness, political correctness.
Still don't understand why all of a sudden you're not allowed to ask sincere questions.
For unmatched insight, powerful opinion, and must-see debate, you have to watch Tucker Carlson Tonight, weeknights at 8.
Still eclipsing here on the Sky Bridge and Fox News Channel. 3 o'clock on the East Coast, noon on the West Coast. And look up there. We still got an eclipse. It's a partial eclipse of the sun, and right across the street of the Haven roof deck. Hey, over there at the Haven roof deck, on the right-hand side of the roof deck, the right-hand to your right, on the roof deck, they're all looking up there. No, on the roof deck. Yeah, like I said, on the roof deck, on the right-hand side. They've been out there with their fancy glasses. And that's on about the 9th floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 10th floor. The roof is the 10th floor there at Haven on 47th Street between 6th Avenue and Broadway in Midtown Manhattan. And they're just enjoying the eclipse of the sun. Enjoying it. And everyone's been doing throughout the day. There you go. That's from the roof bridge. And now we're coming back into the studio where it's been quite a day of enjoying eclipsing. Here's what's happened. This is Monster Wall. Monster lights, please. Monster Wall. That's what's happened over there. There it is. That's live in Nashville. That's about what I saw from my glasses here in New York. You can see the thing. Whoops. Sun moved again. It's been doing that today. Here's some extra pictures. And this is the path that it's taken throughout the day. It started way up there in Oregon and is now gone all the way down to South Carolina, and South Carolina is where Jonathan Seri is. How's it?
Still a crescent sun, and it's amazing how much just a fraction of the sun can illuminate the area here. But when it was completely obscured, it was amazing how quickly it got dark here. People were holding up their phones. That was really the only light that you were seeing other than this dusk-like sky in the distance. And I even saw a planet, not sure which one it was, but just to the right of the eclipse, something that looked too bright to be a star. That is how dark it got. And then as the moon moved away from the sun, it's as if you were at intermission, they started flicking on the lights. Very quickly, it got bright again, and it started heating up again. I could have used the natural air conditioning for a little while longer, Shep.
Well, that's why we did the Sky Bridge here. How do people feel now that it's over?
Yeah, we're going to, Chip, could you round up some people, get them close here? Awesome. I'm a little tethered here. And are you a Clemson student?
I am. I'm a sophomore this year.
First eclipse, I take it?
Yes, it was my first ever, and it was quite exciting. I never really realized what a full eclipse would look like in person, but today, it just, wow. That's all I can say.
My first eclipse as well, I was surprised how quickly it got dark and how quickly it got light again. What was your biggest surprise?
My biggest surprise was that you see the eclipse coming over, slowly getting darker, and then it just comes on you really quick, and then everyone kind of went wild, and you're just looking up at the sky, and it's like a small ring of light. It's something you've just never seen in your life before.
Having experienced what you've experienced, do you think you'll travel a long distance to see the next eclipse?
Maybe. I might come around that time, but this is something I won't forget soon.
It'd be like a rerun.
Fantastic.
You watch them on cable.
Thank you very much. It truly was amazing. You just heard the cheers from the crowd, and then when it was dark, it was like an evening concert, except you didn't hear anyone yelling "Freebird." A truly amazing experience here, just going from day to night and then back to a hot day again.
Yep. One of the things that we were noticing around here is that you have that corona, which we now know is the poorly named area around the outside of the sun. And the reason that it's a total eclipse, the sun is 400 miles, the sun is 400 times larger than the moon, but the sun is 400 times farther away from us than the moon. which works together nicely. Because if we were living on other planets and dealing with other stars and trying to do the same thing with a moon, unless all those numbers were the same, it wouldn't be the same thing. So, as far as eclipses go, it hasn't always been fancy glasses and parties. According to one legend from ancient China, people were scared that a dragon might eat the sun, which it's always something to consider. So they banged drums and they shot arrows to chase it away, which, as the prompter says now, did not work. Then the eclipse went ahead. The emperor apparently was not happy with his astronomers.
They failed to tell the emperor about this coming eclipse, so when it happened, they lost their job and their lives.
Sometimes an eclipse led to more positive outcomes, at least according to a story related by the Greek historian Herodotus. In 585 BC, the Medes and the Lydians were in the midst of battle.
But then all of a sudden the sun was covered by the moon and they all panicked and they stopped fighting and they made a peace treaty.
Scripture also mentions eclipses.
For instance, the crucifixions of Jesus. Some attribute that to a solar eclipse. When the sky got dark, there'd be an hour of darkness at noon. And there was an eclipse around 29 AD, which is right around the time Jesus was supposedly crucified.
Eventually, astronomers, including Johannes Kepler in the 1600s and Edmund Halley in the 1700s, provided scientific explanations for what had seemed like supernatural phenomena. But superstitions didn't die out completely. In 1831, an eclipse inspired Nat Turner to begin the largest slave uprising in U.S. history.
Nat Turner was an educated slave. He actually was literate. He tried to propagate this idea of when shall we rebel? When shall we do it? And there was a solar eclipse. And when the solar eclipse happened, he said a dark angel is covering the white angel. It's time to do it. And it was the Nat Turner Rebellion.
In the 20th century, with math surging ahead of mysticism, eclipses became tools of scientific advancement, thanks to the father of relativity, Albert Einstein. In 1915, he predicted that relativity would cause a discrepancy in Mercury's orbit. The 1919 eclipse showed Einstein was right. And there you go, doing science. It would be kind of weird if all of a sudden it got dark in the middle of the day and you didn't know it was coming, which is kind of how it was a long time ago. It was. And then all of a sudden you just stop the warring because the moon got in the way of the sun. Trace Gallagher was there when that happened. The total eclipse is impacting local businesses and communities along the path, huh?
Yeah, I just locked IFB chat, but I can hear you. I mean, we're talking about this basically, and just to kind of go off of your package that you just ran here, it's interesting because throughout this thing, people are trying to game the system, right? You started in Oregon, and then you moved on down to Illinois and Kentucky, and then down to the Carolinas, and people were trying to game the system, see if they could actually race the eclipse, and they couldn't do it. I mean, pilots were saying, well, what if we flew in and we just started and we got the tail end of it or the beginning in Oregon and we could make our way? You still can't. Even if you were in a fighter jet, then maybe if you're traveling just a little over 800 miles an hour, you maybe can catch glimpses of it, but there's no way because you had that 9:06 a.m. on the West Coast was the first one, and then you move on, you had, 10:44 in Illinois area, and then you move down to the 2 o'clock hour in the South, so you can't do that. But as the legend grows about these eclipses for hundreds of years that you've been reading about these things, and a lot of people used to believe that they were precursors of evil, because in the beginning of the eclipse you kind of see these snake-like shadowy figures on the ground, and a lot of people over time thought that was a sign of evil, and so they would always have these big seminars and these praying circles in the wakes of these eclipses. And you should finally know, Shep, that you should really enjoy this, because in about 600 million years there will be no more solar eclipses, because the moon will have moved out of orbit so far that it won't be big enough anymore to actually block the sun, even though, as you explained, it's 400 million miles or 400 times further the sun is from the moon, and the moon is 400 times smaller than the sun. While in 600 million years, scientists say at that point in time the moon should be far enough out of our orbit that it will no longer be able to block the sun, which means there will no longer be any eclipses at all.
I'm glad we live now. How about you?
Yeah, it's a good, and you know, the next one, 35 years or 22 years, the partial thing, whatever they're saying, you can catch one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but 600 million years out, yeah, I mean, the odds are slim, but who knows?
Yeah, you never know. So maybe your grandchildren will be around then. You'll probably be done by then. You know, Stiegel's down in Houston waiting for the planes to come back. Any sign of them, Casey?
Shepard, they're going to be here in about an hour or so, but you know, earlier you were asking Jonathan Glenn. He did a very nice job explaining why science is science and why researchers are so interested in studying this. And we're here with some of the world's the most renowned scientists, and they are explaining to us that when you have an event like this, the planes that NASA launched from this location earlier today that were able to fly in totality for 7 or 8 minutes, it allows them to gather an incredible amount of data, and the scientists say they're trying to better understand how the sun impacts the weather in space, and that has to do with things like satellites. So how our pictures are broadcast and transmitted down into folks' living rooms. So a lot of things utilize space and the knowledge that is learned, and they also have known that the outer area of the sun, as we've talked about, it's called the corona. It is actually much hotter than the surface of the sun itself, and so with the data that was gathered, they're hoping to better understand why that is and how the heat is actually transferred across the sun's surface. And when we've been looking at all of those live pictures of totality, there's sort of streamer looking type trails coming off of it, and those are solar winds, and they're looking at that as well. So there is a wealth of information to be gathered from this mission. NASA tells us that it was successful. They've had some technical problems getting the images back down here to Earth. These planes were flying at about 50,000 feet up in the air. As you know, most jetliners that we fly on commercially level out at about 30,000 feet. So this is much higher, and the reason for that is because there is no weather up there, essentially. There's no dust, there's no particles in the air, and that has given them a very good look with high-definition cameras of not only the sun, but they were also looking at Mercury as well. Shepard, Mercury is closest to the sun, and it has a symbiotic kind of relationship, and the scientists are interested in that too.
It's 4 syllables. We don't use 4 syllables. Hey, Casey, have you ever looked up at the sun with one of these pairs of glasses before today?
I have never worn any of them, but I feel like maybe it's a new look. We should be sporting them.
It's not. I'm 53. I've never worn them before, but I was thinking we may be being punked because I've never looked up there at the sun before. Maybe it's always shaped like that. And just to be sure, I'm going to take these out and look at it tomorrow. And if it's not like this, we'll report it here. What was it again? They finally got it together. Been doing this since Fluff was a kitten. She's a full-grown cat. Finally got it right. Got to do other stuff now. President Trump heading to Virginia this evening to deliver an address to the American people on the way forward in Afghanistan, a country where U.S. forces have fought and died for almost 16 years. Ahead, what we expect to hear from the president and what it may mean for our military. Plus, American sailors missing after the USS John McCain destroyer collided with an oil tanker. The search and the investigation ahead. Real news is going on, but the day has been fun, hasn't it? I've enjoyed watching the eclipse along with you. And some of the words used to describe it today: weird, dark, cold, dark, amazing, I love nature, amazing, I'm gonna die, this is amazing, crazy, cool, I see a little bit of red on the sun, awesome, awesome, spectacular, amazing, tremendous, and huh? We'll be right back.
After a DVT blood clot, I sure had a lot on my mind. My 30-year marriage, my 3-month-old business. Plus, what if this happened again? I was given warfarin in the hospital, but wondered, was this the best treatment for me? So I made a point to talk to my doctor. He told me about Eliquis. Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots and reduces the risk of them happening again.